Good luck. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's Friday. It's 7:30 p.m. and it's Match Day Live on NUFC Matters. Roll the intro, Daz.
You're the joker, the expert, the voice, but you're one of the crowd. A vision of weakness you don't.
Steve's got to kill us, isn't he? Do you know what, Steve? If you're watching this, we couldn't find the normal NUFC Matters intro, so we just had to go with an intro, mate. Honestly, that wasn't planned.
Steve,
Improvisation.
Steve, you're watching. They're lying to you. They planned this right from the beginning. They knew what they were doing. This is the only takeover we care about right now, and it's Loaded Football Week.
Good evening and welcome to NUFC Matters with me, your host, Chris Hall. Wow, boys and Holly, we've got a hell of a game on tonight, haven't we? How are we all feeling about it? Are we nervous? Are we happy?
I'm not confident. I think we'll get beat, to be honest.
No.
I mean, look at that. Look at the team.
It's one of those games, isn't it, where we've got to...
Honestly, it's just pathetic, isn't it?
Tearing off the races.
I saw the video on Twitter of the lads walking up to the stadium, and I thought, didn't fill me with much confidence at all, really. Like seeing the lads walking, trudging up the stairs. They looked. I put a tweet out saying they look as can't be asked for this one as me. So yeah, I think I'm not sure, but hopefully they bring their A game today.
I've got the golf. I've got the golf on here. I'm not actually watching it, so I'm just watching. Put the golf on in the background.
Well, I'm joined by thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm joined by the panel this evening of Daz, who's going to be my wingman for the evening. So thank you very much, Daz, for coming on. Really appreciate it, mate. I'm also joined by Nathan Thomas, Chris A, Pete, Holly, Al Waleed, and Kieran. So thanks everyone for coming on. Really appreciate it, and it's lovely to be joined by you all this evening. Okay, before we start, I want to say a big thank you to our boss, Steve Wraith, for this opportunity. I feel really privileged to be in the hot seat tonight, and so much so, I thought I'd scrub up a bit. As you can probably all see, I know you've all said about my shirt already, but I just wanted to scrub up a bit. And as they say in the business, to play the part, you've got to look the part, haven't you? So I thought, why not stick a shirt on this evening? So I don't know about the rest of the panel, but I'm a bit nervous tonight, to be honest. Not because I'm host, but because I think everyone will agree tonight. It's got to be 3 points, hasn't it? We could, a point's not going to be enough, and to think about a loss is just unthinkable, isn't it? I really don't want to even go there. So I'm going to be watching the match on BT Sport tonight, as I'm sure the majority of you will. So I'll be able to keep you all up to speed with what's going on. But if my not so reliable internet goes off, panel, please feel free to come in and save me, because I'm going to need you if this internet goes off. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen anyway. But tell you what, let's get straight into it anyway. Daz, can you bring the line up, mate, so we can see what Steve Bruce has got in store for us all this evening? Okay.
Here we go.
So we've got Martin Dubravka in goal. We've got Emil Kraft. We've got Jamal Lascelles, Kieran Clark, Paul Dummett, Isaac Hayden, John Joe Shelby, Joe Willock, Ryan Fraser, Joe Linton, and Dwight Gale. So, Daz, what are you thinking about that lineup, mate?
Yeah, for me, Chris, as we talked about 15 minutes ago on our WhatsApp call, for me, the back four, I would like to have seen Fernandez in there. I would have liked to have seen Manquillo in there. Hayden and Shelby. For me, it's a 4-2-3-1. For Hayden and Shelby, I would like to have seen Matty Longstaff in there. I would have swapped out Joe Linton and brought in Murphy. So I would have made 4 changes to what he's gone with, but at least it's a bit more attacking than it was against West Brom. So that's a bit positive, So I'm expecting a few shots on goal.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. Yeah, we need some shots on goal if we want to win, don't we? So fingers crossed. We get some good shots tonight and we get some goals. Nathan, what are you feeling about the lineup, mate?
Disappointed to not see Manquillo back in. For me, I think everyone's been sort of calling for that last couple of weeks, and I think he made the bench last week, and it's disappointing that he's on the bench because I think someone said last week if he's on the bench, he must be fit enough to play. So why not stick him in there? I think he's much more solid than Kraft. I think he gives us a lot more down that right hand side. both defensively and offensively, because we saw a few sort of efforts on goal and crosses from Kraft last week. They ended up in row Z, didn't they? And it's a bit disappointing when we rarely get the ball into that position, that we waste those opportunities to deliver into the box. So that's a misstep for me. Lascelles, I think he's always going to start because he's captain, but I would always prefer Fernandez rather than him, but that's never going to happen. In the middle of the park, I think there's some good legs around John Joe Shelby there in Willock and Hayden. Not quite sure how they're going to look, those three in the middle, but Shelby's got legs around him tonight, so maybe that's going to cover for his running that he's not going to do tonight. Wouldn't mind seeing Longstaff instead of Shelby, but there we are. I still think, same as last week, that we should have gone for a 4-4-2 and stuck Gale playing off Carroll up front. I can't see Gale getting many chances on his own. I don't think he leads the line as well as Wilson does. I don't think he's got that kind of that knowledge and intellect of that role to pull defenders out of position that we see Callum Wilson do. So yeah, I would have liked to see a 4-4-2, but there's no Hendrick in there, which is a bonus. So yeah, all good.
Yeah. Do you know what, Nate? I agree with you, mate. It's good as can be. Yeah, that's certainly how I felt about it. When I first saw the lineup, I mean, I'm pleased to see Gale in there, and I think if anybody was to come out for me, it would have been Joe Linton or Hendrick, and obviously he's taken Hendrick out, and so Dwight Gale's. We've got the extra man up front, so you'd like to think we are going to be more on the front foot this evening. Chris A. Obviously, I didn't mention earlier on about the bench. We've got Andy Carroll, Matt Ritchie, Jamal Lewis, Jeff Hendrick, Federico Fernandez, Javier Manquillo, Jacob Murphy, Carl Darlow, and Sean Longstaff. Is there any players on that bench that you would have liked to seen in that lineup, Chris, tonight?
Yeah, but just to start with the starters, to be starting Joe Linton and Kraft should be a fireable offense, but they shouldn't be anywhere near our squad. They're not Premier League players. I just don't want to see them in the on the bench, let alone in the starting lineup. So I would definitely have not put Joe Linton there. I would have Murphy in there instead of Joe Linton, and I would have put Manquillo in place of Kraft. I'm pleased to see that he made Hendrick on the bench, but I would also I would try to work Matt Ritchie in there. I think he's a player that you want to be playing, if not starting, at least coming off the bench reliably. But ever since the sort of failed deal to go back to Bournemouth, it doesn't seem like Steve Bruce has any place. Sort of doesn't favor Matt Ritchie, especially with the whole rift that they had, confrontation. So it's just, it's maybe like that. It's slightly more of an attacking lineup, but depends on the formation. And I just it doesn't give you a lot of confidence to see Joe Linton because he's not a scoring threat, and I think that Kraft is a huge liability in the back. So it really doesn't matter sort of how you line up the middle if the front line and the back line are deeply flawed.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying, Chris. I mean, I think we're all, well, maybe not everybody, but some of us will be disappointed that Joe Linton's in the starting 11 today. But one thing you can say about Joe, he does put the effort in. So hopefully this evening he runs his socks off. That's certainly what I'm hoping anyway. I've just been glancing at the telly there. I know Steve Bruce has done his usual pre-match conference, and do you know what? I nearly passed out because I seen Rob Lee. Rob Lee's in the studio. Yeah. They've actually got a half decent pundit representing Newcastle. So
it's about time, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, mate. Yeah, so that's a positive before kickoff. Pete, how are you feeling about the lineup? Any particular players on the bench you would like to see in? I'm sure there's probably quite a few.
I'm not. I'll be honest. I'm not overly bothered about the lineup, other than Kraft. For Manquillo, I think he's been training 2.5, nearly 3 weeks now. I think he should have been playing. He's obviously ready to play if he's been training for that length of time, and he's a significantly better right back than Kraft. But this is classic Bruce, in that if we don't lose a game, he keeps the same team pretty much. I think the only reason he's changed Dwight Gale is because he's been getting a lot of criticism over this week for not having a striker on the pitch, effectively. So I think that's why Dwight Gale's playing. Other than that, I don't see a problem with it. I think the key to this game tonight is going to be the midfield, because McGinn and I think Douglas Luiz is playing in midfield. I think that's their midfield too, and they are a good midfield pairing. But we need to overpower them, and I think numbers will be the key tonight. Having 3 in that midfield will overpower them. We did it against Southampton. It helped against West Brom. And I think that'll be the key tonight. The midfield battle will be the difference in the game. So, we need Willett making those runs forward, but we need him helping out at the back. We need him being that box-to-box midfielder. And we need to see what mentality Dwight Gale has on the pitch. Because we've had a lot of talk about Dwight Gale. I personally, I said it on the Loaded show, last night, I'm done with Dwight Gale, in my opinion. I'm not interested in him starting a game for us because I don't think his attitude's right. He hasn't shown me anything to suggest that he wants to fight for this club and he wants to fight for this club to stay in the league. Because in my opinion, his head's already out the door, halfway out the door. He's already gone. And when you're already gone in your mind, you're not fully committed to the team that you're playing for. And that's the issue I have with Dwight Gale. Do I believe he's going to score more goals than Andy Carroll? I do believe he's got the ability to, but only if he's committed. So I want to see a fully committed Dwight Gale that's going to be getting in the box and getting on the end of chances. And if we have that, I think he'll get a goal, and I think he'll be good enough to win us a game. And the defence is the defence. Other than Kraft, Dubravka's obviously a quality goalkeeper. He was barely tested last week. And the other 3, I thought, were very solid. So I didn't expect them to be changed either. So it is what it is. But it goes back to the point. It's the mentality of the players tonight. Hopefully hearing that get my words out, Jack Grealish isn't playing tonight should naturally boost the players and think, you know what? Yeah. We've got a chance here. We can get 3 points here. And it's all about the mentality and how they approach the game. If we approach the game in the right mentality, in the right mindset, there is no reason why we can't get 3 points. The way we played against Southampton, even particularly in the second half with 9 men effectively, who are arguably just as good, if not better than Aston Villa, in my opinion. We gave them a good game. And as I said last night, I do believe that our best performances have been at home, and I hope that continues tonight.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Pete. It's a big game for Dwight Gale this evening, isn't it? And we're gonna see a lot. We're gonna see a lot from whether Gale is committed or not to the cause. If we don't see the effort from Dwight Gale, like you've already suggested, Pete, perhaps that is the end of his Newcastle career, and maybe we should be looking elsewhere, maybe trying somebody else up front, possibly Andy Carroll. Hopefully Wilson's back sooner rather than later. But yeah, my eyes are going to be firmly on Dwight Gale this evening because hopefully he can make the difference.
Murphy needs to come on tonight. He needs to play.
Yeah.
He didn't get any minutes last week, and this is a game where he could really test that defence. Look, we all know Steve Bruce is a prick. He is, let's be honest. And he makes bad decisions. And he's just an awful manager. But he needs to make sure that he's making the right decisions for the players on the pitch and for the club. Because we need 3 points. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree, Pete. Holly, how are you feeling about the lineup? Or maybe the bench even? What are your thoughts?
It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I think it's certainly better than the lineup we saw against West Brom. It looks like we're playing a 4-3-3, which I don't mind. I did want to see a 4-4-2 because I would like to have seen Carroll and Gale up top as a partnership. I think that would have went down well. But I don't mind it. I think we all would rather have Manquillo in the right back position than Emil Kraft. And the only reason I can think that he's not starting that game is because perhaps he's not fully fit yet. But if that's the case, then why is he even on the bench, to be honest? Because it just doesn't make sense to have someone on the bench that's not fully fit. Because if he was fit, then surely he'd have to be starting. But apart from that, I think it's relatively okay. I don't mind it. I'm happy to see Dwight Gale in. I get what people are saying about him, and I don't think he's fully committed to the club, but I think he's the best chance we've got at scoring goals, because I feel a lot more confident with him in front of goal than the likes of Carroll or Joe Linton. So I'm happy to see him in that position, and we'll certainly have to see how he goes in this game. And hopefully now he has a point to prove that he's better than we're saying he is, and he's not getting the criticism that he deserves, and hopefully that he can just prove us wrong about what we're saying about him. And I'd love to see him do a job, and I would like to see Sean Longstaff in that midfield, or Matty Longstaff. Matty Longstaff's not even in the squad, which I'm not totally surprised about, because he was playing for the under-23s the other day and he hasn't had a look in, to be honest. But I think we're not really surprised that the Longstaffs aren't to be seen.
No, let's be honest, Holly, Dwight Gale's playing for his future, isn't he? I think we all know Dwight Gale, his future is not going to be at Newcastle. So if he wants that new contract and he wants that bumper, that bumper salary that he'll be after at some other club, he's got to put performances in, because if he continues, to show a lack of effort, clubs are going to be put off by that. So, clubs, he's got to try and attract these other clubs to him. And the only way to do that is by scoring goals for Newcastle. And hey, you never know. We could do a U-turn. We could give him a new contract if he performs really well in the next few games. So it's all down to Dwight Gale, isn't it? It's up to him to sort himself out, isn't it? Walid, lovely to see you as always, mate. How are you perceiving tonight's lineup? How do you feel about it?
Regarding Dwight Gale, I think he's lucky tonight. He's starting, and he have with him. Let's say Joe Linton and Fraser, Joe Willock. Those are attacking players, so they will give him opportunities. Before Dwight Gale always play maybe substitution, or just simply alone, or no one around him to help him. I think he will have chances tonight. Joe Linton, we are sick of talking about Joe Linton. I think if he is the coach, he will not choose himself playing as well. I want to get back to last season. I remember when Aston Villa were more like us. They are trying to survive from the relegation. I remember they play very tough with us. I think we get a point, and I think Al Muhammadi, the one we should worry about, he scored the draw goal. Al Muhammadi, he have history between him and good history between him and Steve Bruce. And I think he's trying to just show his manager that he's a good player. So I think we should worry more about him. As I said, I remember last year the game with them. They played very tough, and I remember the player were injury. Our players, they are like, we are in relegation. You are fine. It's like a message. You're Newcastle. You become. We are gonna be relegated. You are not. So they play very tough. So I saw the players. They play very, very tough. That's what we should do tonight. That's why I'm not happy with Joe Linton, because I think this game need Andy Carroll need fight back, because we want to do that. We are not gonna be relegated. So I think this game need much more tough, much more power than soft playing.
Yeah, some really good points, I believe. I thought it was really interesting as well when you mentioned El Mohammadi. I think we were all in shock as Newcastle fans that Steve Bruce, his first signing wasn't El Mohammadi, because he seems to follow him everywhere he goes. So that was a big shock. Yes, Daz, thank you very much for bringing that up. So the Villa lineup this evening is going to be Martinez in goal, El Mohammadi, Conce, Mings, Target, McGinn, Douglas Luiz, Ramsey, Traore, Watkins, Trezeguet. And then on the bench this evening, Aston Villa have got Heaton, Cash, Engels, Taylor, Nakambe, Sanson, Barkley, El Ghazi, and Davis. So leading nicely on from that, Kieran, do you want to give us your thoughts on that Aston Villa lineup? Obviously, we're all really delighted to see Jack Grealish is missing out. It's a shame Ollie Watkins has passed his fitness test, but we'll get on with it. Let's see. If our two centre backs, Jamal Lascelles and Kieran Clark, can handle him. Do you think they can handle him, Kieran?
Well, he's going to be the key, isn't he, Watkins? I reckon. So if we can keep him quiet and also look the midfield as well. We're going to get outrun the midfield, I think. Yeah, look at that, Louise, McGinn. I mean, apart from that, El Mohammadi I don't rate, so we can get at him. I think we can get a bit of joy down there. Would you agree?
I would, mate. Absolutely, yeah. I would. I'm not even sure he is a right back. Didn't he normally play right midfield? And maybe he's slotted in a right back.
Yeah, I think he did at Hull, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're in a situation now where we have to win. In my opinion, it's win or bust, isn't it? We don't win this. This is our last chance, in my opinion. We've got a good opportunity. Obviously, Grealish is not playing, so we've got to take advantage of that. I mean, Steve Bruce yesterday stating the bleeding obvious again, saying it's your accumulation of points that keep you up. Well, yeah, of course it is. But instead of talking negatively, why not talk positive and say, right, we're going to go and win this game? And he never does, does he? Never does.
No,
the same rubbish every week.
Yeah. Unfortunately, mate. Unfortunately, we're all used to that as Newcastle fans, aren't we? But let's hope this evening we're gonna get 3 points. That's certainly what I'm hoping for, anyway.
Yeah.
Now, before we get to the panel predictions, I want to do some shout outs to our sponsors. Now, I'm going to warn you all at home. This is going to sound like one of the live government press conferences, so I'm warning you that already, and you'll know what I mean in a second. So, Daz, can you do the honours, please, mate, and put up the first sponsor?
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. Big shout out to our main sponsors, Spider VPN. They've sponsored the StreamYard for the past month and will continue to do so through March. Thank you very much, lads. Next slide, please, Daz. Thank you to another of our main sponsors, Geordie Riffs. Premium guitar lessons for beginners and children, guitar repairs and servicing, and recording studio. The website for Geordie Riffs is www.geordieriffs.co.uk. You can get them on Instagram at Geordie Riffs and also on Facebook at Geordie Riffs Official. Next slide, please, Daz. And of course, a massive thank you to our good friend John Justice Allen at qtechshop.co.uk, the makers of pool tables and snooker tables in Wallsend. I wasn't expecting that slide, Daz, but I can live with it.
Yeah, no, it's just a shout out to NUFCmatters.com.
NUFCmatters.com. Yeah, if you could follow NUFC Matters, that would be fantastic. I'm looking for Jab. Have we got Jab?
We've got Jab.
Lovely jubbly. Thank you to Jab Signature, who produce all of our flyers. And we've got one final slide.
Do we?
I hope we do. It's the
Who are you thinking?
One.
Give me a clue. Sorry?
The Magpie one. We want to tell our viewers to subscribe.
Oh, here we go. Yes.
Lovely jubbly. Okay, so if you're a first-time visitor to the channel, help build our NUFC Matters community. Hit the little thumb to like the show. You've got the comment button there. Love to get all the comments in from the viewers, so please do that because we really enjoy hearing from you all. You've got the share button. So that is if you wish to share our link or also share videos that you've watched previously that you've enjoyed with your friends and family. And also, please click the subscribe button. It's got the little bell on it. That would be fantastic. Thank you very much. Right, let's get to the predictions. I'm going to kick us off. You know what? I nearly changed my mind then, but I'm going to stick with what I initially said. Even though the lineup isn't exactly what I was hoping for, I'm going to say 2-1 Newcastle. Daz, what are you thinking, mate?
I'm going to stick with what I said yesterday on the show, and I'm going to go 1-1. Draw.
Okay. Nate?
What about me?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with 1-1. I think I'd be probably very happy with a 1-1. Even with Grealish out, the way we've set up on doesn't give me a lot of confidence, so I'd be really happy with a 1-1.
Chris A?
The Chris's are in agreement. 2-1.
Yes, Chris. Good man. And Pete?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my original prediction, and that's 2-1 to Newcastle. We need the 3 points.
Okay, mate. And Holly?
I'm going to say 1-0 to Aston Villa.
Oh, Holly. I think to be fair, Holly, I think it's a fair prediction. I can fully understand why you've gone with that, but very good, very good. Our lead. What about yourself, mate?
Well, Steve Bruce very confident in the conference, so I'll go with him. 3-2 Newcastle.
Do you know what? I was waiting for our Leeds. I was waiting for our Leeds prediction all night because our Leeds pretty good with his predictions, as you'll all know. Kieran, what about you, mate? What are you saying?
I'm going 1-0 Villa. I'm sorry, I'm not confident.
Okay, mate. Okay, so you and Holly got your Villa shirts on tonight, yeah?
Well, I don't like Villa, but I still think they're going to win.
No, I can fully see why any Newcastle fan would say a Villa win tonight. Obviously, that's not what we want, but
no,
I can fully appreciate why people are
doing
it. Yeah.
He's got to go if it does. He's got to go.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what, Kevin? You could argue, and I've felt this myself. Like for me, a draw this evening, I don't really think it helps. It's not enough points, and
the point is unfortunately keeping him in the job. That's why
it will. That's exactly the point I was going to make, mate. Yeah, a draw keeps him in the job, gives him another week. We win, I'm happy to proceed with Bruce if we win, because it means we've got 3 more points on the board, which is great. If he loses, I do feel like his position is under real threat for the first time in a long while. If he loses,
I mean, how many times have we said it? Like, we get beat and he's going to go the next day. It doesn't happen, does it?
No,
he's not going to get the sack no matter what, in my opinion. So.
No, completely agree. Now we're 3 minutes until kick-off, everybody. But just before we go live, obviously with the kick-off, Daz, you know, I'm going to take this opportunity to plug loads of football. You just know it.
Nice one, Chris. I'll roll with that one, Chris. I just want to shout out to Loaded HQ and our new channel that we've set up. It's there, and you'll find it on YouTube. Just search for Loaded HQ. There's a number of there's actually 10 shows on the channel now, backed up. So just a collection of the latest ones that we had this week. A Newcastle special, Loaded Football, our regular show, and we've got a Paddy's Day special coming up next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And you can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and if you can't find us, give us a shout. We'll direct you to where to go. Just a quick shout out. We take advantage where we can here.
Love it, Daz. Love it, mate. No, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much, mate. Okay, so we're just about to kick off.
It's
I'm nervous.
Curtains for
Kieran. That, sorry, Chris. What was that, mate?
I said it's curtains for Kieran.
Curtains for Kieran, yeah. Yeah, we're just about to kick off. Now, just before we do kick off, I've got a little question for you all. So having watched the press conference yesterday, Steve Bruce thinks we've done okay and our performances have been decent, which is an interesting viewpoint. He said after the international break, we may get Miggy, St. Maximin and Wilson back in the team, which will mean that they're back for Spurs at home. I'm concerned we may rush them back and, you know, they may get injured again, which is obviously the last thing that we want. We do, you know, that would be really, really bad. Who do you think we're missing the most from the front three, Daz? And who would you prioritise to come back out of those three?
Yeah, no brainer. Wilson. That's where we get our goals from. I know Miggy does all the running and all the tracking back as well, and ASM a bit of flair can turn a game for us, but our main goal threat is Wilson, and that's the one I want back first. Everyone else, we have players that could supplement that, but no, we cannot do without Wilson. So I'd take him back, and it's nice to see the club paying the respect to Glenn Roeder as well as I see on screen. Maybe that happened earlier because I'm behind, but
no, it's just happening now, Daz. Yeah, I was just about to say when you'd finished, mate. Yeah, lovely to see the club playing the respects with a 1 minute applause for Glenn Roeder. Absolutely great servant to the club, both as a player and also as a manager. Nathan, what are your thoughts, mate, on that front three? Who for you would be the key one that you would bring back? If someone said to you can only have one of them back, who would be the one that you'd want back ASAP?
Yeah, I think it'd be Wilson. Absolutely, I agree with Daz. Even though he looks like he's frozen for me, but yeah, I agree. I'd agree with Daz. I think for me, having someone, we've noticed the impact of having somebody that can lead that line. And it was, the start of this season was, we were poles apart from it towards the end of last season when we didn't have anyone to, we didn't have a recognised striker all year last season, and it really showed. But Wilson's been a revelation for us in that department. It's just unlocked so many opportunities for the wide players to get down the flanks, and obviously we don't have those wide players at the moment available to us due to injury. But for me, we've got other players that can, they're not as good as Almiron and St. Maximin, but we've got Fraser and Murphy and those kind of players who could slot into those wide positions. So for me, yeah, Callum Wilson all day.
Okay, Newcastle have kicked off. They're kicking from right to left. And I know we're only 40 seconds in, but we've made a fantastic start. We're actually in the Villa half, which is lovely. So long may that continue. Chris A., what are your thoughts on the front three, mate? Who's the one person that you think we're missing the most and who, would be a welcome return?
Oh, 100% Wilson.
Sorry, can I... Sorry, Chris, can I interrupt?
Of course you can, mate.
Yeah, I froze again. Yeah, do we need to ask people to put their times in the comments for the first goal?
Dad's still frozen.
I don't know if we're doing that competition, but please, all, if you're watching at home, send your predictions in for the first time goal. I'm sure Spider VPN will sort it out. We're not privy to whether or not that's happening, but yeah, by all means, get your score predictions in, get them in. It's still 0-0. We're 1.5 minutes in. You've got time. Get your score predictions in, and let us know when the first goal will go in.
I think Daz needs to refresh.
Sorry, Chris.
Hey up!
The penalty.
What's up, boys?
He scored a foul on Mings. How?
What? Surely VAR.
Mings is running back to his own box. Joe Linton's kind of giving him a shove in the back. Pete, do you think?
No way. He's
VAR
won the ball fairly there.
VAR should look at that then, shouldn't it?
VAR haven't even looked at it.
They're not. The game's
not looking
carrying on. But
what is the point of it? The point of VAR is meant to be looking at these kind of decisions, isn't it? Jesus Christ.
That's disappointing. I mean, judging by Pete and Kieran's reaction, I wasn't looking at the screen at the time, and I saw the replay, and it did look like Jamal Lascelles to me, give him a little shove, but Pete and Kieran seemed adamant that VAR should at least look at that.
I've seen a picture of it. I'm not watching the game. I've just seen a picture of it on Twitter, and it's blatant.
Sounds like Newcastle have been unlucky there in the first couple of minutes.
Richard Masters on the VAR again, is he?
Chris A, do you want to continue, Chris? Let us know. I know you said Wilson, but you were in the middle of one there. Go on, mate.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, he can't get back soon enough. But I don't want him to come back if he's not fully fit, because we wouldn't want it to do a re-injury or re-aggravation. But yeah, I mean, what has he scored? 80-90% of our goals this season, 95% of our goals. We don't have any reliable scoring threats up front with those lads out. So yeah, Wilson to come back when he's fully fit. Can't come soon enough.
Thanks, Chris. Cheers, mate. Yeah, Wilson seems to be the popular pick. I can completely understand that. Aston Villa have just wasted a chance there. The ball got floated in by John McGinn. I don't know whether it was a shot or a cross, to be honest, but that's gone out of play for the goal kick. So we're approaching the 4-minute mark. Yeah, the ball come in from a free kick. Jamal Lascelles headed it out. It went to the edge of the box. It was laid back to John McGinn. And I'm just watching now. Yeah, I think it was just an awful shot. So yeah, 4 minutes in, still 0-0. Okay, Kieran, we're going to go to you, mate. How are you feeling about that front three? Who's the one that you're missing?
Probably Wilson, because he's the only one.
Oh!
Sorry, Kieran. Just to let you know, Ryan Fraser with a bit of a ping shot. It was about 20 yards out. Ball from Bravke straight up the field. Joe Linton jumped, missed it, flicked it on.
Of course he would.
It was flicked on by Dwight Gale. Ryan Fraser had a shot. Keeper made a comfortable save, but good effort. Sorry, Kieran, carry on, mate.
Yeah, probably Wilson. Because he's the only one who looks like scoring, isn't it? You look at. Sam Maximus.
Can I just say?
Yeah, someone's got them.
Can I just get everyone to go to mute their TVs because this is a bit of feedback.
Yeah, I think it's a kid.
Make sure your TV's on mute.
I think it might be Martin. I might be
No, it's not. No,
oh, sorry, Martin. Look at that,
exactly.
jump in straight away. No, it's not.
Yeah. That's not.
Sorry, Mart. Sorry, mate.
I'm watching on Sky Go. It's on my phone, so it's not even the telly.
Sorry, Kieran. Carry on, mate. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so I mean, Sam Maximus and Almiron, they're not as really clinical as what Wilson are. So I would say him, but they are key to the press, aren't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
We've all for some reason. There's no coincidence since this guy from Bournemouth's come in that we've started pressing high, and yet people will still think it's down to Steve Bruce, which I think is nonsense, to be honest. So yeah, we need them back. We need them back because I can't see scoring any goals while then.
Yeah, absolutely right, mate. I mean, we need all three back, don't we? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I take your point that Wilson provides the goals, doesn't he? Martin, have you got a different view, mate? Are you out of our front? Oh, you probably missed the question. So I asked the panel out of our front three who are missing. So we've got St. Maximin, Wilson, Miggy. Out of those front three, who do you feel is the most important one that we are missing? And if I said to you only one of them can come back, which one would you pick?
I think you'd take Wilson all day long, wouldn't you? Because he's 37% or 70 something percent of our goals and assists. So I think for me, when you take what's potentially a 20 goal a season man out, and I think not even just his goal scoring. I think the channel runs that free up other players, his movement, and also as a striker being able to put a ball in the box. Where he knows he would want to have it. So for me, I think Wilson. If I think Miggy's work rate is astonishing, but if I could put Wilson back in there now for the next 80 minutes, I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, we are certainly missing our number 13. I was going to say number 9, but technically he is our number 9, but he's number 13. But yeah, no, we are really missing Wilson. Aston Villa just pumped one in the box. Sorry, Mark, go on, mate.
Did you put a shirt on specially for tonight, or?
Yeah, you missed the start, didn't you?
Did you dress up? I missed the start. Yeah, what's going on?
If you're playing the part, you've got to look the part. That's the way I look at it. Do you know what I mean?
I'll remember that for next time.
Job interview.
Yeah, he's at the interview. Yeah. Stage 2, Avon. Moving on.
You're not going to let that Avon thing die, are you?
I'm never letting that go, lad. That's lame, would you?
I need to clear this again. Martin, for some reason, said that I was doing Avon. I don't do Avon, just in case anyone's watching thinking, why does Chris do Avon? I don't do Avon. Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with doing Avon, but I don't do Avon.
Yeah. If Avon would like to sponsor us, then feel free.
Yeah, Avon, hit me up. Yeah. Okay, Pete.
Yeah, no. Some people in the chat were looking for the team again, so I'm just putting it on screen.
Oh,
there again,
yeah, lovely.
Some people just in the chat.
I'll just repeat it anyway. Oh no, it's okay. Are we all right? Yep, that's fine. Okay, Pete, what are you thinking of that front three? I mean, I'll be honest. I'll give you my opinion dead quick. We're missing Wilson big time, and there's no doubt about that. Obviously, the previous 4 people have asked have all said Wilson, and I completely understand that, and I completely get that. For me, I would say the one we're missing most probably Miggy, and the reason I say that is because I love his work rate, and he pushes the team further up the pitch. And with Miggy, he can be feast or famine, especially on goal. I understand that, but I just love it when he's in the team because he really drives us forwards and he shows the passion, the commitment, and I think he sets the tone of the team. So as much as I appreciate we do miss Wilson, and he's really our only really decent striker. For me, I would put Miggy over Wilson in terms of returning, purely for that work rate and setting the tone. But what about you, Pete? What do you think, mate?
I'm 100% Wilson. Take Chelsea and Man United out, which we were expected to lose and not have much possession in those games anyway. If you look at the games at home to Wolves and away at West Brom, we had chances to win those games and we didn't take them. You put Wilson in that team and we score goals that could potentially have had us getting 6 points out of those games. That's the difference. That's what keeps you in the Premier League. You're absolutely right. Almiron has, he kind of sets the tempo in terms of the intensity that we press at. And St. Maximin has the sort of the genius in terms of winning the game on his own. But goals win games, effectively. And Wilson is the main man. He's the number 9, although he doesn't wear it. He's the number 9. He's the main man. He's the top goal scorer. And the sooner he's back, and it's looking like Tottenham is going to be that game, that he's back alongside the other two, I think we still have a chance.
It's going to lift spirits, isn't it, Pete? I mean, Tottenham at home, some people may say, you know, they probably wouldn't fancy us for that. But me personally, I think Tottenham are the hit and miss Tottenham, really, aren't they? So, you know, if they were going to come back any game and it couldn't be one of the lower teams, I'm quite happy it's Tottenham at home. I think it's a winnable game if you catch them at the right time. You know, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we put a performance in, and it'll lift the whole team, won't it? If you know we've got those front three up front, so let's hope all three are back.
Chris, I think a few of those games are winnable games with our top front three. You look at Arsenal at home, which Arsenal, you know, okay, they're winning games here and there, and they are a threat here and there, but you know, with our front three, I think we can cause them problems, as do I think we can cause Tottenham problems at home, as I think that we can catch Leicester away, because Leicester at home, when they play at home, are not great compared to how their away form is this season. Their away form is fantastic, phenomenal. At home, they do drop points. You know, Fulham have benefited from that early on in the season. So there are games there against teams that we would expect to lose that I think, you know, playing our strongest team with Manquillo back, with the front three back, I believe that we could get points that could keep us in the league. I'm not saying that we'd go and win all those games, but I believe that in games like that where we would expect nothing, I believe we could get something. We just need those guys back on the pitch. It's a shame that we've not had them in this run, but I still think there are games there to be won. And as I've said before, this season has thrown up so many surprises, so many surprise results against teams you'd expect to lose. I think we haven't had our run yet of those type of games where we've not beaten teams, or where we've beaten teams that we've not been expected to. So I think there's still a twist in the tail.
Yeah, I agree, mate. And you know, the front three being out has been obviously a massive factor. And to be fair, if you look across all the Premier League teams, if you went over to say a Liverpool, a Man United, a Man City, etc., and you said, right, we're going to take out your 3 best players, because arguably they are our 3 best players, albeit they are all attacking. They do also happen to be our best players, in my opinion. You know, most teams would struggle, and you know, I don't know. I think that. I agree with you, Pete, in that the games are winnable.
On,
There's point.
Oh,
Joe. Joe.
Oh, God.
Good running from Joe Linton. The ball broke. Joe Linton was up top. To be fair, he was on his own. He got past one man, and then he strode into the box, and unfortunately it was blocked, and I think it's gone out for a corner.
Yeah,
there he is on the far right. Mistake by Tyrone Mings. Let him go past. Concept, great interception from Concept. Okay, so I'm just going to stay with this for a moment. It's a corner to Newcastle. I believe it's Ryan Fraser taking the corner.
Yeah, it's a great run from Joe Linton.
It was.
What minute?
Ball into the box. Oh, the keeper's dropped it.
Oh,
I'm behind by a little bit.
Ball's in the net, but it was a foul apparently in the build-up.
Right.
I'd love VAR to look at that, but I bet they don't.
Nah.
The thing with that, Pete, right? You look at the strength there that Joe Linton had to get to brush in past the defender there and cut in. Why does he not do that when he's central? Why does he not do that when he's in the box? Why does he not do that when he's on the left?
Yeah, I have to say, you know, in the first 14 minutes, he's shown a real desire. That run there where he's at the corner, that's not the first run he's made against Tyrone Mings. And look, Tyrone Mings is a big physical centre-back. He's a good centre-back. Yeah. A great centre-back, but he's a good one. And he's never really outpowered in that centre-back position. But in this 14 minutes, he's been outpowered 3 times against Joe Linton, and he's found it difficult. So, and you're absolutely right. If he'd have shown that sort of intensity and that willingness in the other games, then maybe we would have seen a different, you know, a different sort of performance from him, and we'd maybe feel a little bit different. But this is the problem. He had a decent game against Crystal Palace, and then he had another 15 shit games after that, and there's no consistency there from him. I hope that this start of the game is going to give him a little bit of confidence where he can maybe get a goal.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Holly, in terms of the question earlier, about the front three being missing, which one are you missing most?
It's got to be Callum Wilson, because without him in the side, we can't score goals, and that's the biggest problem for us. I think if Callum Wilson had stayed fit and he hadn't got injured, I think we would stay up. And now I don't think we will, but if he had stayed fit, then I think we would have been able to stay up without too much of a problem. Like in that West Brom game, and we'll probably have the same issue today, is that we could go on to get a result out of the game, but because there's no one on that pitch that can't put the ball in the back of the net, we can't win, because obviously if you can't score goals, then you can't win any games. So Callum Wilson for me is definitely got to be the person that we need back as quick as possible, because we're really missing his goals. Almiron, you could argue, we're missing a lot as well, because he brings something completely different to the team. He's the most hard-working player forward, and he always gets up the pitch, puts lots of assists in, always has a good shift, but he's not as much of a prolific goal scorer as Callum Wilson, so I'd go with Callum Wilson.
Yeah, no, I fully understand that, Holly, and I agree with what you're saying. Awaleed, what are your thoughts, mate? Who are you missing most?
Of course, the goal scorer last night, as I was checking the schedule of goal scorer in Premier League, I found massive names with 9 goals, like Rashford, we have Mahrez, Marseille, I think, and Callum Wilson is he's ahead of them by 10 goals, and he
Wow.
I think less number of games. So of course, Wilson.
Yeah. No, I understand that, mate. I'm just sorry, my eyes were averted to the screen then. I've just seen Bertrand Traore has just been knocked off the ball by Paul Dummett. He's jumped over the boardings, and I think he's took a little bang somewhere. Where's he? Oh,
Ribs.
Yeah, that looks nasty, actually.
The upper hip, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the ribs.
Oh, your rib. Yeah, I see. Yeah, okay.
Sports Direct signs coming, something good for a change.
So he's off the pitch. Carry on. He's off the pitch. Keep going.
Exactly. Yeah. No sympathy, lads. Crack on.
Absolutely not. Daz, I don't know if you saw Bruce's press conference yesterday. Sorry, mate. Go on.
Oh no, there was a question earlier for Aloid. Really, someone asked what happened to the mustache, Aloid.
Sometimes I make mistakes, and just it's 2 weeks it will come again. Yeah.
That's an honest answer. Yeah. Nice one, Aloid. Yeah. Sorry, Chris. Back to your question.
No, I was just going to say, mate. I was watching Bruce's press conference earlier, and I've been dying to ask this question. Just one moment. John Joe Shelby shot in the box. It's been cleared. Joe Willock's picked it up. Newcastle on the front foot here, which is exciting because we're not used to this. So I'm going to stay with it. Paul Dummett ball into the box. Oh, headed out by Aston Villa. It's gone for a throw-in.
We'll clear the pressure. This.
Let's hope we can continue it, Pete. I just wondered, as in terms of the Bruce's press conference. So as I say, I was watching it earlier, and I thought it was funny that Bruce seems surprised that Villa have been doing so well since he left them. Are you surprised at that?
No, and nice. I just downloaded their picture from yesterday as you were asking me the question, so I got it quickly. Yeah. So this is you clarified this last night. I thought it was a joke. Is this an actual quote? Well, they've done remarkably well in the last couple of years, in particular since I left.
Yeah, well done.
What do you say to that?
Unbelievable.
No,
unbelievable.
I think that's his best this season so far for me.
Yeah, it is.
That's the money maker.
Digging himself out. Yeah, he's digging himself out, isn't he? He's making himself look awful.
Oh, he's done. Traore, I think he's done.
Traore's in trouble here. He's in trouble.
He went back on
just
the pitch.
approaching the. Oh, sorry, Pete. Yeah. Did he come back on and then he's had to go off again?
Yeah, I don't know if the ref waved him on. He should get a yellow card. Get him off. Get him off.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone.
He looks
be a big loss to Villa. Sorry, Mark. Come on, mate.
I said he looks bored.
I always wonder at Old Trafford with the bricks whether anyone's ever slammed into the bricks, because they're pretty close to the pitch. God,
yeah, so we're 20 minutes in and he's still grabbing his ribs. I don't know why they haven't made the sub by now. He's just hanging on in there. Right, okay, his sub's coming on.
El Ghazi.
He's a good player.
That's not great.
Good player.
Yeah.
Good player.
Yeah, I was surprised he wasn't starting tonight actually, because he's been in a good vein of form, hasn't he?
Always Barkley was. Barkley's not playing.
Yeah, Barkley on the bench as well, Caden. Yeah, so I'm sure we will see. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to see Barkley at some point. I'd be very surprised if we didn't. Nath, we're 21 minutes into the game now. How have you found the first 21 minutes? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm kind of pleasantly surprised, I think, to be honest. I expected us to kind of when the team didn't look too different from the team last week. I thought Bruce said he was very happy with that point. So if he was happy with a point against against West Brom, why would he not be happy with a point against Villa, who I believe they're about 9th, aren't they, in the table at the moment? So we've looked more on the front foot than I expected us to look. I think Joe Linton's actually having quite a good game, to be honest. I think he's playing himself. His final effort has let him down. His finishing and shooting's let him down a little bit, but he's put himself around a bit today. And I think, as Pete was saying, it's no mean feat getting the better of Tyrone Mings in a physical battle, but he's done that a couple of times now. And that's been something that's been missing from his game all season, and ever since he signed for us. So for me, I mean, we've looked positive, we've looked bright at times. We look like we've got a lot of space. We're moving the ball from left to right. Shelby's been trying to move the ball quickly across to take advantage of that space. So,
not a bad ball in from Kraft there.
Yeah, lovely ball from Kraft, wasn't it?
Sailed over Joe Linton's 6'4" head.
Yeah, I'm a little bit behind, but so I didn't see what happened there. But we have more to talk about than they have for sure. So as long as we keep this up, keep this intensity up. But what we've seen in previous weeks is that quite a high intensity for the first half, and then it tends to drop off towards the end of the first half, and then our second half we seem to be clinging on a little bit. So hopefully we have a bit of a more sort of smoother transition through the game and don't kind of run ourselves into the ground too early. But we need to start creating some more clear-cut chances, because I think when we all sit here and watch every week, and I think I don't know, I've seen about 4 shots in about 3 games, I think, or something. It's dreadful, isn't it? So hopefully we can keep that pressure up, keep the intensity up.
Yeah, I hope so, mate. It has. It's been a reasonable start to the game, hasn't it? Both teams have had 3 attempts, both got 1 on target. El Ghazi's just had Aston Villa's chance there. It was quite a way out. It was about 35 yards out, and it was an easy save for Dubravka. But to me, it certainly looks like we're very much in the game, which is nice. I know we're only 23 minutes in, but quite often, we do tend to sit back, and we tend to start the game a little bit slow, but we're very much in this. And as you've said, Nath, we just need to make sure that we get a few chances to give ourselves the opportunities to try and nick a goal, and then we've got something to cling on to or build on with any luck.
I think it's difficult for us to keep up that intensity though, when we train like 3-4 times
3 days a week.
So it's difficult to kind of keep that momentum going when we've got so many days off.
It is,
mate. Only showed like a 12-inch vertical leap there on that cross, and was pretty disappointing from a tall, big man to not get ahead on that ball. It should have been within striking range of his head, but
too busy trying to find the mole at the training ground, isn't he? That's what it is. 3 days off.
Chris, I mean, I know you've just mentioned Joe Linton there. Any players you've got your eye on, or who you think's made a good start to the game?
It seems like Hayden is putting in a shift. I mean, he always does, but he seems to be somebody that's kind of going box to box and really supporting in the back, but also on the attack, involved in the mix. He's never going to be much of a scoring threat, but he is one of our better players that's healthy. So it's, you'd like to see them build around him or support him more, because he's always reliable to, do his job and do it well. It's just a question of the supporting cast around them, playing their part.
I don't know if anyone's seen, but has anyone seen Graham Jones on the touchline? Because when they were lining up for Roda's 1 minute clap, he wasn't stood alongside the coaches.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'd been sent to the stands again to get a bird's eye view.
But to be honest, Nate, I think we experienced this last time, didn't we? I think we were on BT 2 or 3 games in a row, and the BT. Well, to be fair, BT did zoom in on the sideline because I've seen Bruce trying to G the players up a little bit. So I haven't personally seen him. I don't know if anybody in the comments or anyone at home's seen Graham Jones on the sideline, but I certainly haven't seen him. Anyone on the panel seen him?
We'll see him around the 65th minute when Bruce does his substitutions, because he's usually the one that gives the final instructions to the lads before they sub onto the pitch.
Most probably, yeah. Kieran, I've got an important question for you. When are we going to find the mole?
When are we going to find it? Oh, God knows. I'm still trying to work out who it is.
As we all are, mate. As we all are.
What's going on, man? Honestly.
Alex Bruce.
Yeah, could be.
Mart shouted that, didn't you, Mart?
I did. That was my shout, mate. Alex Bruce.
Are you still standing by that?
I am, yeah.
I would love to. I would love to know, though.
I thought you stopped there. Did you want me to embellish a bit more on that?
Maybe, but I just wanted to know you thinking behind it, because
there is no random thinking. Just don't like him.
I haven't been blocked by him yet, so I've got my handle up there. So if he's blocked me tonight, then I know that
I'm blocked.
He's seen the show.
Yeah. No. Look, do you know what? It could be. Like we spoke about this a few times, Chris. It could be anybody. Like my 2 shouts were Alex Bruce and the tea lady who's on furlough. They were the 2 I said. So I don't know. Could be anybody.
Aston Villa just had a really good chance there. They broke into the box. Paul Dummett didn't seem to want to put a foot in. Oh, we got lucky there as well. Yeah, it broke into the box, but the shot was straight at Dubravka, so we got lucky there. But Aston Villa had a clear shot on goal, and thankfully Dubravka stood strong and saved. I think the ball's gone out for a corner now. I'll just check that.
What minute are we on?
Yeah, he slipped over.
We're on 27 minutes, mate.
All right, cheers. Yeah, okay, I'm up to speed then.
Oh no, but okay. Sorry, Pete. You're quite right, mate. You're quite right.
Gone out for a goal kick, yeah.
Pete, anybody standing out for you at the moment for Newcastle who you think's doing really well?
I think Joe Lynch has started really well. I think Dummett's played well so far. I think he's been really solid in his defensive duties at the back. I think Shelby's ticked the ball over nicely. I just think in general it's just been a really decent start. I just think we just need to be more ruthless in the opposite end of the field. Fraser's got the ball, he's putting it in the box. They clear it again. We're doing all right until we get to the box, and then we just kind of run out of ideas.
Yeah, you're right, mate.
That's a real frustrating thing. I've not seen enough from Willock so far. He's not really been in the game. And when he has had the ball, he's not really done too much with it. So he really needs to get himself in the game, because he's the kind of player that we need. Gail's got the ball on the left-hand side. Just squared it to...
Paul Dummett's getting the ball in the box, isn't he?
Yeah. Joe Linton just misses it. Just misses the ball. Fraser's got it. He's going to put it back in on the right-hand side.
No.
Gets cleared again. Dummett's got it on the left-hand side. Puts it in. Lovely ball in. Gets cleared.
Like, how is Joe Linton not winning more of those balls, those headers?
What does he do, though? That's the thing.
He's terrible in the air.
God almighty. 40 minutes.
Yeah, he's not the greatest in the air, to be honest. But you look, as Nathan said earlier, this is far better than what we expected.
Yeah, it is.
We are really putting pressure on Villa, and Villa, we say about Joe Linton and why is he not getting these headers on the ball? Just we kick about 35 yards out on the left side now, and hopefully you can put in the box. Trezeguet just spat all over himself. That was embarrassing for him. But you know, we said, you know, someone mentioned about Joe Linton, why is he not getting onto these balls? But their defenders are having to make last-ditch clearances because the ball's in. The quality of the balls have been good. We've just not got on the end of it. But they're literally their last ditch at the moment, or the last couple of minutes have been last ditch with everything. And that's the kind of pressure that we've put on them. You know, Villa have had a fair bit of the ball, but whenever we go forward, we look dangerous, like we're going to create something. Fraser's put the ball in, cleared again. You know, so if we continue to put pressure on them, hopefully it will pay off, and we'll get something on the back of it. But you know, I think again, Nathan made a really good point: is that we have these moments, we don't take advantage of them, and then when we have a little lull in the game, that's where a team like Villa could nick a goal, and that's what we don't want. We don't want that. We need to make it count. If we're having this sort of possession and this sort of influence on the game, we need to make sure that we get a goal from it. So, you know, it's a good start, but it could be better. We need a goal, and we need it soon.
Do you know what, Pete? I was just about to say in regards to Joe Linton. What I've been pleased with in this first, I'm gonna be careful what I say now. In this first 28 minutes, I've been really pleased. The ball's been going in the box, and okay, he's not been getting his head on it, but he's there. He's challenging. He's in the box.
Yeah. I was just going to say the same thing. If you look back 6 months ago, he wouldn't have been there for that chance. So I was probably a bit critical there, saying, you know, how's he not getting to that? Because 6 months ago he wouldn't have been even in the box. So, you know, the fact he's there, you know, and chances will come, I think, will at least he's in there.
Those two centre halves should be in the England squad, in my opinion, for the Euros. For Villa, they'd be superb, wouldn't they?
Their record's very good. It's very good at getting clean sheets. And
I mean, I'd rather have them and Maguire. Maguire just heads the ball like a bloody balloon, doesn't he?
Yeah, but Maguire's got a big head.
Yeah,
we need that in the fucking areas. Slabhead.
Allegedly.
Martin, I that's terrible. That's terrible, Martin. Lowering the tone. Martin,
no,
I'm sorry.
I'm just making sure Steve doesn't get sued while you're sat there with your shirt on. That's all.
Martin, I'm sorry for missing you out before, mate. I feel terrible now. I wanted to ask you who you've been impressed with. What I also want to ask you as well, Martin, is a little extra question which has just popped into my head. You know, all these crosses that are coming in the box from Paul Dummy. Wouldn't it be good now if we had Andy Carroll on the pitch? Just saying.
Yeah. Okay, so the first thing with Andy Carroll is
at every opportunity,
Chris. Yeah, there's obviously, as I put on the post yesterday with the little man from in between us, friends, Chris and Andy Carroll. Yeah, do you know what? Look, Carroll, you know, I think would probably give you more, you know, from those kind of crosses than Joe Linton probably does, to be fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, from that perspective, you know, I can kind of, you know, I probably would prefer to see Carroll there because we're obviously playing with two wingers and getting balls in. So from that perspective, yeah. Who stood out? Yeah, I think, you know, I was probably slightly late on, but I think Nathan and Pete and the boys and Holly have made good points. I think it's been a good start. You know, Joe Linton is getting in there. You know, he's putting himself about, I think, and I think that's my frustration with him is, you know, he brushes past Mings and bursts into the box. And you're kind of going, like, why aren't you doing that in the middle of the field? Why aren't you doing that when you're getting it on the right? Why aren't you, you know, he's obviously got it there. I think he just doubts himself massively that he can do it. And I think he just needs to forget about everything around him and just go at it. Dummett, I think, has played well. I'm glad to see him back in. Still don't like Lascelles, but that's just me. But yeah, it's been okay. 34 minutes? We're creating chances, but then, as Pete said, we have this lull at about 60 minutes where where our high press disappears and our work rate disappears and tiredness creeps in. And you know, I'd like to think we could take these chances because, you know, we need to take them. We need to put some points on the board. Otherwise, we could get caught out again. But yeah, it's been okay so far. I've enjoyed watching. Oddly.
Do you know, interestingly, when I mentioned about Joe Linton and I was saying about, up to 29 minutes, and then I noticed Joe was out on the right, and that's why I was a bit like, I was pleased seeing him in the box, and then he wasn't in the box, he was on the right. Interestingly, and I'd love to see who's shouted this on or instructed this to happen, but it looks now like Fraser is in the number 9 position and Joe Linton's gone to the right.
Yeah, I actually copped that before we were chatting, and talking about Joe Linton. But yeah, for like the last couple of kind of balls that have gone in, Fraser seems to be running through that middle piece.
Yeah, he does.
So yeah, it definitely looks like he's gone more central. Gale left, Joe Linton right. So yeah, that's been switched around.
Is he doing the 4-4-2 diamonds? It certainly looks like it to me now, because you've got Joe on the right, you've got Gale on the left, and then you've got Fraser running in through the middle in the number 10. That's certainly what it looks like to me. Anyway,
three of them broke there, Chris. Sorry, and they did, like, as in play wise, getting up the pitch. The three of them look quite level. So I'm not 100% sure it's gone to the diamond, but they've certainly switched positions.
Yeah, no, they absolutely have. Holly, I wanted to ask you, who have you been impressed with so far? We're 35 minutes in. Newcastle playing well. I'd say we're having the best of the game so far, and it's certainly one of the more pleasing performances I've seen in the past few weeks. Who stood out for you?
Yeah, we've had a decent game. I don't think anyone's done bad. I think everyone's done okay. Probably Joe Linton stood out for me. I think that he's been getting in all the right positions. He's been having a good game. Certainly nice to see that from him, because he's often not in those positions that we want him to be in as an attacking player, and he's doing that now. And also Paul Dummett. I think Paul Dummett's been really, really solid in the defence, and I was happy to see him play, because I think he's so much better at left back than Jamal Lewis. He's a lot more defensively solid, and I think that I've been proven right to think that I would rather have him in than Lewis, because he's proved how good he is again. And also, I think Shelby hasn't done bad. He hasn't seemed to be as lazy as he normally is. He's definitely trying to get the ball and get some decent passes. He is actually running for once, which is nice to see. But yeah, I don't think there's much complaints about anyone. Probably the two that I'm most disappointed with at the moment is probably Willock, because I don't think we've seen much of him, and also Dwight Gale. I would like to see a bit more from Gale going into the game, but I really hope that we score before it comes to half time, because that's when.
Go on, Joe. Go on, Joe.
Shoot, man. Just shoot.
Why does he not shoot?
Sorry, Holly. Sorry, we had a moment there. Joe Linton, he's having a bit of joy on the right, and he's up against Tyrone Mings again. He's causing Tyrone Mings all kinds of problems. He's gone past Tyrone Mings. I'm just seeing the replay now. He shoved him off the ball. Oh no, he shoved him from behind. Well, that was a bit later on, but basically, Joe Linton got past Tyrone Mings, and then he's going into the box, and then again, a defender blocks the cross from going in the box, or from Joe Linton going in and shooting, which is disappointing, because Joe's getting himself in these really good positions, but it's that final pass or that final moment, and he's not acting how we all want him to act.
He does the hard bit, but then when he gets in the position, he doesn't shoot, does he? He's got.
Yeah, it's frustrating, because as Holly's just said, and other people on the panel, Joe Linton arguably has been our best player so far, and I just wish things had clicked for them. But you've got to put it down to his decision making. His decision making just seems slightly off at the minute, but let's hope that improves. Al Walid, who have you been impressed with, mate?
This is a hard question.
Not a trick question.
No, actually, I see the team, the chemistry between the attacking player in the front. They have lack of chemistry. I think they are not. I think they are first time to play all together. I found a big problem in the center forward and the Joe Willock behind, because unfortunately Steve Bruce liked the three defense midfielder, so he dropped out Jeff Hendrick today. So that's why I make Joe Willock play more defensive role. That's why we didn't see Joe Willock much often on the front. So also we noticed because of that, we noticed Dwight Gale get behind, get back more. So Joe Linton actually, and he's doing great today, but unfortunately he's in the right side. Fraser on the left side. No, actually, good positioning in the in the number 9 position. Again, with the number 9 position, we have a problem. I wish if Joe Willock, maybe he can be more forward. I would like to see Andy Carroll, of course, because he's expert. He make the defense busy. The center back of Aston Villa, they will make them much busy and will cause trouble for them.
I will leave my man. I knew you're an Andy Carroll lover like me, mate. I love that. Absolutely. This game for me is made for Andy Carroll. And the sooner he's on the pitch, the better. Fantastic tackle by fantastic spot by Shelby. Do you know what though, mate? We're missing something up front. We really are. And I do think those crosses that were coming in the box, we've gone off the tempo a little bit now, but I do think Carroll would have got his head on at least one or two of them crosses, and we could be sitting here 1-2-0 up. I just hope that we continue this intensity and we continue trying to get the ball in the box. Like Fraser's running at the defence. It's 3-on-3 at the minute. Villa are getting players back. I think we've lost the opportunity now. Too many back. Hayden out to Fraser. Fraser's put the ball through to Hayden. Goal kick.
How are we going to score goals? We've done a lot of scoring. Gee whiz. Bloody hell, man.
Have we lost Daz? It feels like we've lost Daz.
I just thought he was really good at playing statues. That's why I didn't want to say nothing.
I'm still here.
He's still there. Well in, Daz.
You know what he's doing? He's put one of those. He's put one of those.
You're going like this. Frozen.
He's put one of those Zoom meeting pictures up, hasn't he? When he's meant to be
Cardboard
on a work
cutout,
call,
is it, Martin?
and he's listening, but actually it falls over and he's behind doing something he shouldn't be. He's like tucking into a McFlurry or something.
It's the
he could be. I could do with a McFlurry now, but
okay. If you want that shirt to fit you next week, you don't.
Do you guys have the controls if he dropped out to bring him back in, or does Steve have the controls?
Daz is on the controls. Daz is the man with power.
Daz is literally the fat controller.
This is like the Mary Celeste. Ghost.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, mate. We just can't see you. Well, we can, but it's just a screenshot of you, really, Daz.
I'll come out and back in.
Done it again.
Come on, Joe.
Joe Linton, yeah. A lot of good work from Joe, and again, it's that final pass.
Final third decision making,
yeah, it is, and it's disappointing because he's had a good first half. He really has. Nathan, going into we're coming up to half time anyway in about 2.5-3 minutes. Would you be looking to make any changes? Are you happy with the way things are going? Would you keep it as we are, because we certainly look in charge of this game to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at how I'm seeing it now, like as you mentioned, with Fraser kind of going into the middle, what is the point in having like the smallest player on the pitch for us in that kind of central attacking? And if Gale's floating out to the left hand side now, that's not really his natural position either. So I don't really see the value in playing that way at the moment. I think I don't want to take Fraser off, and then that's the thing that I like Carroll to come on, because I'd like to see that. I'd like to see it as a 4-4-2. But I think what will happen is if Bruce does bring Carroll on, he'll bring him on and he'll be in that sort of number 9 position on his own. And we've seen that this season where he really struggles in that position because nothing's happening sort of in and around him. Nothing's dropping in front of him. There's no one kind of running off him. And certainly without Miggy and without St. Maximum, he's not going to have any runners that are nipping in and around him to pick any bits up. But I mean, Joe Linton's playing he's having not a bad game. One of the better games I've seen him play for us, to be honest. But that's not a very high bar to sort of surpass, is it? So for me, I'd like to see. I was going to say I'd like to see Sean Longstaff on, but I don't think John Joe Shelby's been too bad today, to be honest. Like the panel have said, for me, Paul Dummett's been fantastic today. Those early balls into the box, whipping them in. That's what we've not had that first time cross all season. We don't have a fullback that can do that apart from him. And he's done that for us for years, so it doesn't make sense that he's sort of it makes sense that he should sort of continue playing in that position and keep continuing to do that. So, yeah, for me, I'd like to see Andy Carroll on, but it depends on that shape, because if he's going to bring him on as part of this sort of 4-3-3, whatever we're seeing, then it's not going to work. But if they want to change things around to a 4-4-2, then yeah, I think it'll be very fruitful for us. But we said that last week, that it was the perfect game for it. I think this is a perfect game for it as well, because, you know, if Joe Linton can get the better of Tyrone Mings in a physical battle, then I'm 100% certain Andy Carroll can.
You can't cross.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. Of course I agree. It's Andy Carroll. Of course I agree.
There's absolutely no point playing Gale in that position as it stands.
Gale's just another body on the pitch at the moment, isn't he?
Exactly. There's no point. He's not going to get anything out of that position, so there's absolutely no point on playing Gale wide left. None.
Where he is right now is where he needs to be, right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Exactly.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Sitting on that penalty spot.
Yeah.
This is what happened against Chelsea, wasn't it? He just went missing against Chelsea. He's no good on that on the wing.
He doesn't know how to play that position, Kieran.
No,
that's the problem. He doesn't know what to do with it.
That's it. Yeah.
I've not got an issue with the formation, because the formation is actually
the formation is okay. It's Gale in that position is the problem.
I think if you put Carroll in that position, he has to play that position, and he's less mobile than Gale. I think we've literally got that problem until the front three come back.
The front three are back. Yeah.
And this is the thing. This is the issue. The biggest issue of it all, of not having the right players to fit this formation. And you know, it's a difficult one, because you're thinking, and a lot of people have said over the week, you know, why hasn't Bruce changed it? Why isn't it gone into something different, a different formation, play two up front? And that's fine. But when you're trying to bed in a new formation, you need time to let it work. You need to see what players suit that formation. So I understand to a certain extent why Bruce and his team have persisted with it. Because ultimately, when the front three come back, that's what we're going to revert to anyway, even if we changed it. But, you know, obviously it's half time now, so it is what it is. But good off for me.
Yeah, so we're half time now. It's Newcastle 0, Aston Villa 0. Newcastle very much in this game, but it's just the same old story. Unfortunately, we've created half chances, and that is being generous calling them half chances. But you know, we've not really tested Martinez in goal as such, which has been disappointing. But this second half, you know, we need to try and get on the front foot, and we need to try and, you know, make a difference and at least put Martinez under a little bit of pressure. Chris A, are you looking at the bench? I'm going to read the bench out to you again, mate. So we've got Andy Carroll, Matt Ritchie, Jamal Lewis, Jeff Hendrick, Federico Fernandez, Javier Manquillo, Jacob Murphy, Carl Darlow, and Sean Longstaff. I'm sure you're not going to bring Carl Darlow on, but is there anybody on that list who, you know, you'd be thinking, I fancy them coming on this second half? Anybody, you know, you think would make a difference? Thanks for that, Taz. Cheers, mate.
Yeah. I mean, I think Martin said I would bring on Carroll for Joe Linton. Joe Linton is not working out in this formation or any formation really. And I'd bring on Matt Ritchie for either Lascelles or Kraft, probably. Because I'm going to back Matt Ritchie, you know, till he's not on the club, because he, to me, puts in his shift. You know, is a real leader on the pitch in all the ways that that Lascelles is not really the captain vocally. Maybe he does stuff in the dressing room we don't see, but Matt Ritchie is the vocal leader, kind of the one that needs to kind of crack the whip and get these lads into shape, because we can't just keep playing for 0-0 or 1-1 draws. You know, getting a point at a time, 1 point each week is not going to keep us up. We need to secure the 3 points here. So I bring Andy Carroll on for Joe Linton. I would probably bring on Matt Ritchie for Kraft, and for a third sub, I don't know. It depends on if we've got a cheeky lead or not. But I'd probably also bring on Murphy for for let's say bring on Murphy for Shelby.
Yeah, fair play, mate. I think some changes at halftime are needed, and it's little tweaks because, like I say, we in my opinion, I'm sure the rest of you will agree. Within the game, we've had a decent half. Obviously, we want to maintain, that effort and endeavour that we've put in. So we just want to keep this going, but a few little tweaks, and it could really change the game up. Daz, I know you've. Oh, I thought that was the statue. Sorry, mate. Well, how did you feel that first half's gone? What do you think, mate?
Yeah, I've been barely looking at the game today through Chris because I'm 40 seconds behind, and so I'm just really looking at it when you flag something and trying to keep an eye on the comments as well. So yeah, look at on a whole we're still set up for the draw, but yeah. Pretty much going off of what you're saying, it sounds like it's not working with Gale, and we need to do something to switch it up. And maybe that's maybe throw Carol in. Maybe you'll get your wish, Chris, and we throw Carol in. Who else would they bring in? I'll try that first. That'd be maybe my first move. Well, then again, if we did go a goal behind, then I'd want to go 4-4-2. So he's going to wait till the 65th minute anyway to make a sub. So. Let's see if we can get that far.
Just to let all the viewers at home know, by the way, I don't have Steve's rattle, unfortunately. So if we do score, there'll be no rattle. We'll do a virtual one like Pete and we'll do a virtual one, and obviously we'll be screaming as well. And you know what? I can't remember the last time we scored a goal. Genuinely, when did we last score?
Southampton.
Wolves.
Oh, yeah,
Wolves,
true, yeah.
yes, of course. Jamal Lascelles, yeah. It feels like
an eternity ago, though.
It does, doesn't it? It does. Kieran, what are you doing second half, mate? You are Steve Bruce. What are you doing?
Like everyone else said, get him on, get Carroll on. Surely you can't be thick enough to not see that we're crossing the ball, and he would be the ideal person to be on the end of it. Surely. I mean,
you can.
Change it to 4-4-2, which would probably suit Gale a little bit more because he's no good on the wing, is he? He needs support up front. Those little knockdowns, you can get in behind there. That's what I would do. I'll probably get Willock off it.
You get Willock off. Who would you bring on for Willock?
Sean, you reckon? Or even Murphy? Check Joe Linton off.
What about yourself? Oh, sorry, go on, mate. What?
I was just going to say either Joe Linton or Willock for me, and get Murphy on and Carroll.
Okay, mate. What about yourself, Mark? What were you doing?
Murphy and Carroll on for me. I think Murphy just in behind Carroll brings a bit more pace to it. I think Gale isn't offering us anything. I think Joe Linton's had a good game, but Fraser probably offers us more from a crossing point of view. So I think I'd be taking Joe Linton and Gale out, Carroll and Murphy on for me. Bit more pace. Carroll in the middle, but Murphy buzzing around him. Maybe Fraser just in behind. I think Willock and Shelby are okay. I've seen somebody there saying, Shelby sloppy passes. I think his distribution's been okay tonight so far.
Yeah.
He's put a few tackles in. Look, we know he's not going to run, but I think for me, I'm happy for him not to run if his pass ratio is good, and he's playing forward ball and he's creative. Then I don't give a shit if he doesn't run down the wing, but be creative. Like, don't pass it backwards or sideways. Play intelligent ball. But yeah, Carroll and Murphy for me for now.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people will be agreeing with you on that, Mart. Pete, a big question for you, mate. When is the first substitute going to be made?
89 minutes.
No,
92 minutes.
No, it's mostly been around the 65 minutes. I think it was 55 on Sunday. For all we know, it could be at half time. Who knows? Nobody can predict Steve Bruce. I don't think, personally, we need to make a change right now. I think we've been okay the way we are. I think Joe Willock needs to rocket up his arse because he hasn't played well, and we need him playing well. I think Shelby's played well, and I agree with Martin. I think his distribution's been good, all but 2 passes. He made 2 passes that have been absolutely horrific, where he's been under no pressure. Other than that, I think his distribution's been good. But the problem with John Joe Shelby is that come 60, 65 minutes, he's shot. So for me, I would refrain from taking Willock off, and I would keep him on because he's got the legs, and hopefully he grows into the game. And I'll be looking at John Joe Shelby. If he's not made a significant impact by 65 minutes, then I would be looking at Sean Longstaff. And I'd be saying, look, okay, you're angry at me. If I was Bruce, if you're angry at me, you're not happy about you're not getting enough game time, come and show me that you deserve to start. You know, it's all right saying that these players aren't ready or whatever and having these arguments. But, you know, as a manager, you should be saying, right, okay, prove to me that you deserve to be playing. And he hasn't been given an opportunity. Tonight's the perfect opportunity because I think, you know, he's got the ability to shoot from distance. He can get us a goal. He can distribute the ball well. And he's got the legs better than Shelby. So there's an opportunity there for him. I'll also be looking at Joe Linton. He's played well. But again, he's a guy that doesn't last 90 minutes at playing at the same intensity. And I agree with Martin that Murphy comes on, brings that explosive pace, can carry a ball. You know, Mings has found it difficult dealing with Joe Linton for power. But as the game rolls on, I think he'll find it difficult dealing with Murphy with pace. And I think that's where we potentially have an in there. Dwight Gale's got to play in between the 18-yard box. As a striker, and something that I say to my strikers in my team, I say, play within the width of the 18-yard box. Don't go and drift yourself out. You know, if you're a goal scorer, if you're a poacher, as Gale is, play within the width of the 18-yard box. Get yourself into the box. Any knockdowns, any opportunities, you take advantage of it. That's what I'd be saying
alive.
Half time. Be alive, exactly.
Yeah, you don't move. If you're a poacher, you're told in between those two posts, 6 yards out, don't move.
He started to do that in the last 10 minutes of the game, and I think that I'm hoping that they've caught on to it because he started wide out on the left. And, you know, as we've already said, he's not the best on the ball, and he's not the best in those positions because he doesn't carry the ball. He doesn't run at plays with the ball. He just kind of gets the ball in those wide areas, gives it to the other guy, and then just kind of jogs off. We don't need that. We don't need that. We've got other players that can do that job. But look, I'm not going to be negative because actually I think we've probably been the better team in the first half. And we should be going in at halftime confident that we can go and get a goal. I believe if we get the first goal in this game, I believe we win it. I'm confident that we'll win this game because Villa have given me no indication that they are good enough to win this game. And I'm looking on the bench and I'm thinking they haven't really got a lot to choose from coming off the bench. They've already made one sub. So it's kind of all in our favour, and it's all about our mentality in the second half. But you know, it's been really positive. I can't argue that.
They're a completely different outfit without Grealish.
100%. And you know, Alex mentioned that last night.
Yeah.
You know, they're not the same team, and it's very, very clear. And they've had a lot of criticism over the last couple of weeks without agreeing. They're saying that they're a one-man team. They definitely look like a one-man team tonight.
Definitely feels like it's there for the taking, doesn't it? That's certainly how it feels to me. Holly, are you still feeling good about that 1-0 Villa prediction? Are you still standing with it?
No, I think it's looking like it's going to be a draw now, to be honest. Like, I've just checked the stats and we've got 50% possession and we've both had 5 shots. So it's literally like looking like it's going to be a draw. But if we do score early on in the first half, I think that will win the game because Villa, I don't think particularly have much of a goal threat. They've been a lot worse than I thought they were going to be. I was expecting a lot more from Aston Villa, which I'm not complaining about. But yeah, I think I would bring on Andy Carroll and probably Jacob Murphy to give us a bit more threat up top and hopefully just give us the best chance of scoring a goal because I always get nervy when we don't score before the second half begins because I feel like when it gets around that 60-minute mark, we'll completely just drop off and throw the game away, which I think we do quite often. And I like us to be at least 1-0 ahead. But if we can score early on, then I think we'll win the game.
Love it, Holly. Love it. I believe. I think we're going to need a big second half for this 3-2 win, aren't we? But can you see goals?
Of course, I can see goals, but I think it's going to be like 1 goal. 1-goal game.
Yeah.
We see crosses, but we need someone in the box to get better use or better chance to make shot on the goal target. Maybe I wish there's like maybe free Joe Willock from the defense roles to get more forward, so will help the center forward of ours. I can see Andy Carroll and Murphy, and they should be in the game as long as it's 0-0, 0-0, not too late.
We're not far away now from the second half kicking off. And I just want to ask you all a question. And my question to you all is, how do you solve a problem like Matt Ritchie? He splits the fan base. And a lot think he's a leader, professional, a voice that we need in the team right now, which I completely agree. But others think his legs are gone and he doesn't offer enough at this stage of his career. As I say, for me, I'd love to see Matt Ritchie at right back. I want him back in the team. And I think that'd be the best place for him. And I think he'd bring the best out of Jamal Lascelles as well, which I know you touched upon before, Mart. I think you feel the same way about Lascelles as I do. I always feel like he needs that support next to him, that voice. And I think Matt Ritchie would genuinely, be perfect. I know we've got Manquillo, but I think if we had, I'd like to see Matt Ritchie in the 11, but I think he needs to be played further back rather than in midfield. He's played in various positions for us, Matt Ritchie, but I'm gonna start with you, Daz. You know, if you were to play Matt Ritchie, where would you play Matt Ritchie, or would you just not? Would you not play him at this point?
Well, I actually would have sold him in the summer. That's my thoughts on it. And this season we haven't seen him at all, so it's hard to judge what he's like now. I can't remember the last time I saw him play. Anytime he's come on, it's only been a kind of cameo appearance. That's why I would have sold him in January, because if he's not going to play him, what is the point? I agree. Yeah, he'd offer a bit of leadership. He'd offer a bit of passion, and the idea like the West Brom game or this game where it's level, it's something interesting to throw in the mix. But it's been so long since I've seen him play. I wouldn't play him. I can't judge him at the moment, Chris, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
That's why
it's fair enough, mate. Yeah, no, I agree. And to be fair, it looked like Matt Ritchie was going out the door, didn't it? Because Bournemouth were interested in him. I think he wanted to go back to Bournemouth, but Newcastle wanted a permanent deal, and I think Bournemouth were only willing to take him on loan. So I think that's why that never happened. We've kicked off now.
If we had sold him. Yeah, if we had sold him, then Chris, we would have brought in someone else in his place. That's why another reason why I would have used it. What's the point of having him on the bench every game, or we're not getting any kind of advantage out of him.
Yeah. No, I completely take your point, mate. I do completely take your point. I mean, for me, I'd certainly be looking to get Ritchie in purely, as I say, for that, for the role that he would play as a leader on the pitch. I think I'd take him over Kraft right now. I'll be honest. Even though, to be fair, and I will say this, I don't think Kraft's been that bad this game up to now. I'm touching wood here, so fingers crossed that continues. Nath, what are your thoughts on Matt Ritchie, mate?
I think he's one of those group of players from the core group that kind of we had down in the Championship that helped us get back up, and he's one that's kind of stayed around since we've been back in the Premiership, and he's one of those type of players that from that core group that you would look to move on, with very similar to the likes of Gale and one or two others, but we should kind of move those players on, but it's very hard to make a case to do that when we've got such poor quality or in all other areas. I mean, when we've got players that play in similar positions but don't put in the work rate that he puts in, doesn't have that same drive and determination, it's very hard to make a case to get rid of him. He can still do a job for us, I think, in a number of positions. I think as time goes on, he's going to be one of the next few players that will leave. But if we go down, I expect him to probably be a first team starter next season for us, to be honest. So it's hard to make a case to get rid of him when you've got players that just don't put in the work rate and effort. But I agree with Daz. It is disappointing that we haven't really seen a lot of him this season, and then it begs the question: well, why is he still here? But if we look at who else would we sort of name in the 25-man squad instead of him? There's not really anyone else to put in, is there? But like you said, at right back, I'd have him in there all day for me. I think I don't see how he could be any worse. And I think getting forward, if we could get him pushed a bit forward, you get stuck in. If we get him pushed a bit forward, we'd have good delivery from both sort of fullback positions, because we've seen Dummett's deliveries today have been fantastic. We'd have the same on the right side if we had Matt Ritchie down there, but as we've seen with Kraft's final ball is appalling, isn't it? So and he doesn't really ever get down into that position either. So I'd have him. I'd keep him around, but I'd be playing him. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of fans feel that he's more of a winger, and he has filled in at left back. But let's not forget he is right-footed. So to me, there'd be no reason why he couldn't play right back, and I'd certainly rather him be right back than left back. And I'm just not sure whether a lot of fans criticised when he was on the wing that he wouldn't take a man on. He didn't have that turn of pace. And that's why I feel, me personally, I would want Matt Ritchie in the 11 right now in this dogfight that we're in, and I would certainly like to see him at right back. But that's only my opinion, and obviously everyone does have different opinions. Chris A, from one Chris to another, what's your opinion, mate?
The Chris's are agreement again. I believe that as long as he's on the squad, he should start. There's no point in stashing him on the bench to not play, or to play 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes. I think he does still have things to bring to the table, to the pitch. So I'd stick him at wing back, right back, wherever he could play, because he's going to put in the effort. And if you give him a run of starts and he doesn't do much, then that's I'll eat my words, but I just don't see the point of having him on the squad if you're not going to play him, or if you're going to give him pittance minutes at the garbage minutes at the end of the rubbish minutes at the end of the game. He should be in the first 11 every game.
I just noticed there, Daz, Brett C made a fantastic comment there when he said that he's noticed that Dubravka isn't facing as much shots as Darlow did. And you know what, I completely agree. And that's one thing we haven't really touched upon. Since Paul Dummett's come back into the defence, I think you'll all agree, there's been a massive improvement, certainly from my point of view, albeit the performance against West Brom wasn't quite what we were hoping for from an attacking point of view. Certainly from a defensive point of view, we looked far more solid with Dummett now back in at left back in place of Lewis. Now, that's not to say that I don't think Lewis is the future and is somebody who I think will do well at Newcastle. But right now we need that solidity, and we need to kind of shore things up at the back and have a steady Eddie, so to speak. And you can't get much more of a steady Eddie than Paul Dummett, in my opinion. Caden, what are you thinking, mate, about let's open it out. What are you thinking about the left back and the right back situation? What would you do? Are you happy with Dummett? Are you happy with Kraft? Do you want Manquillo back? Would you put Ritchie there? Would you put Murphy there? What are you saying, mate?
I'm not happy with any of the fullbacks, Kraft or Lewis. Sorry, but I don't rate Lewis. I've said it a lot of times. I've seen it at Norwich. I didn't really see anything to sort of make me feel like we should sign him. I mean, Kraft, I didn't know who he was. Apparently I didn't know that, but he plays for Sweden. He's the first choice right back for Sweden. But he's crap for us, isn't he?
Yeah.
So that's an area we need to spend on, definitely. I mean, Lewis, would he, under a better manager in the future, would he become good? I don't know.
Sorry, Caden, I was just sorry to interrupt you, mate.
Right.
A ball's just come in the box. Aston Villa free kick, and Concert, I believe, got his head to it, but thankfully it went wide. It wasn't how far wide was it? Oh yeah, it was reasonably wide. I think Dubravka would have had it in any case, but yeah. A half decent chance there for Aston Villa. Martin, what are your thoughts, mate, on the wing back positions?
I definitely have Ritchie in there above Kraft. I think that speaks for itself. with regards to Richie as an overall, he'd be in my 11 every week. I think we touched on this on the Loaded Football special last night and on the Wednesday show, which if you haven't watched, they're available on YouTube on Loaded HQ. Plug. But yeah, I mean, I think I said, I think he is a leader. He's vocal. He has that passion. That little bit of anger. And I think when myself and Pete were talking last night, we said he brings that little bit of shithousery that we don't have on the pitch. When we get a foul against us, or Joe Linton gets clattered, or Miggy gets clattered, our players have kind of tended to just go, okay. Nobody seems to be fighting for the other 10 that's on the pitch and going, what, like, hang on a minute, what's fucking going on here? Like, why, hang on a minute, you can't be kicking him, otherwise you're going to have to come through the 10 of us. There's none of that. And I think Richie, for me, is always a player that is always, the fact of the size that he is, he's always the first one to square up a 6'5" defender and go, hang on a minute, lads, you ain't coming through me that easy. So yeah, he'd passion wise and leader wise, he'd be in my 11. I think the problem we've got is obviously obviously the piece with him and Bruce. I don't think you'll see Richie play for us again. I think even if he was on fire and on form, I think Bruce's ego will not allow him to put Richie back in that 11 and have him in the field. That's my view on it.
On that, Martin, do you not think you like you're saying about no shithousery in our team? If you look back over previous seasons, like John Joe Shelby used to be that person for us. He used to be a horrible little bastard, didn't he, to play against? And he always has been throughout his career. He's been like dirty, getting stuck in. How many times have we seen him get like straight red cards for us? And I know that's not great, but like you don't mind seeing that kind of like that getting stuck in and that passion. But I think that just speaks volumes for where John Joe Shelby is at the minute. He's not arsed at all, is he? That's just where he is.
Exactly. Even for me, Nate, some of the decisions. Look, I know you get a player goes over, or like Kraft gets a yellow card, for a 50-50 with Ollie Watkins, and it's just accepted. Like, okay, he may still get the yellow, but where's Lascelles there going, hang on a minute. Now, I think I seen Lascelles coming up in the background there, but at that point, the yellow's issued. Like, if you're a captain, if you're another player in and around that, surely you're getting in the referee's face and you're making it difficult for him, even though he may have made the decision to issue the card. Like, get in there, complain, start mourning, start questioning decisions, start, where's the fire?
Yeah.
And it's not there from anybody. And I think, despite everything, and I've been, Daz, Chris, Nate, Chris A and Pete, you guys, Al Walid, even you've been on shows all this season that we've done. And right throughout the season, I've said the same thing and I've maintained it. Where is the leader on the pitch? There is not one. And it's still
Aston
the same.
Villa. Sorry, Mark, just to interrupt you. Aston Villa had a good chance there. Ball came into the box from the byline. Villa had a shot. And thankfully, I didn't see who it was, I'm sorry, but a Newcastle defender blocked it. I believe it was Clark. But yeah, that was a half chance for Villa. But this game could go either way. Really could. It is pretty end to end, albeit it's not that exciting on the goal front in terms of shots on target. But both teams are really having a go, and they're getting in and around the goal area without actually forcing the keeper to make saves.
Okay, I think we're all saying about Willock at the half time that he needed to improve. He started quite lively for me. I think he's made a few good forward runs, a few good balls into feet into Shelby. He started a lot brighter for me. Much improved on the first half. Yeah,
I agree, mate. I agree. Pete, what in terms of Matt? We'll start with Matt Ritchie, and then if you can work onto the left back, right back positions. What are your thoughts on that, and how are you feeling about things, mate?
I don't see Matt Ritchie as a starter moving forward. I haven't since he came back from his injury last season. Matt Ritchie has been a fantastic servant to the club, and he'll go down like many others in the years gone by as a sort of a legend of the club. He came to us when he didn't need to. when he was in the Premier League. He came to us and got us back up into the Premier League and really dragged us forward. And he's been a good player for us. But for me, long term, he's not a starter. He's a squad player. He's a leader, and eventually he'll leave the club if it's not this summer. Unfortunately, his legs have gone. He's just not the same dynamic, intense player that he was, and that's not anything to do with him. It's just age. It's just how football goes, unfortunately. Would I play him at fullbacks? Not with Mankilio back, if I'm honest. Dummett's playing well and he's pushing Lewis at the moment, and I think Mankilio is a starter ahead of Kraft when fit, and I think we've got enough there.
Go on, mine.
Oh, it's just got cleared. We've got enough there fullback where we don't necessarily need him if those players stay fit. So I mean that's just my opinion on Matt Ritchie. The problem for us is that if we'd have had a progressive team, I think Matt Ritchie would have gone maybe a year or so ago. But the problem is that with Mike Ashley, he has a group of players and he literally milks every last drop from them before they leave.
Shocking,
and more often than not, they go we're on a free transfer or they get sold for a minimal amount of money. And that's our problem. We don't cash in when we need to and move on. And that's just because of the regime. That's not because of the manager. That's not because of the player. That's because of the regime that we're under at the moment. So there's a few players that could have gone. Ritchie should have been moved on.
3-day training.
Elby should have moved on. Again, the likes of Henry Sarve and one or two others should have been moved on. And that's just that. But with regards to the fullbacks, for the rest of this season, as long as he's fit, Paul Dummett should play, because defensively we are a lot more solid with him. Now, going forward, I would prefer to have an attacking fullback, and I think at 23 years old, Jamal Lewis is only going to get better. This is his second season in the Premier League. He's a young player. This is the biggest club he's played for, so it's a big step up in terms of expectation. He came to Norwich in the Premier League with no expectations, with the expectations, if anything, of just being relegated. He had a good season, made some assists, scored some goals, but was a constant threat down that left-hand side, which is why Liverpool took a serious look at him and bidded for him. And there's a player in there, but we need a style of play that brings the best out of him, and we haven't got the manager or the style of play, or potentially style of play that suits him right now. But we're about staying in the league. We're about staying in the league, and we cannot afford. 1 second.
Yeah, free kick coming into the box from Shelvey. It's been headed away, but we've still got it on the left. Paul Dummett again gets himself to the byline, crossing the box.
Has he not made any changes yet?
No, not yet, mate. Not yet.
Why?
Villa. Oh, Shelvey's just put it back in the box. Shelvey's picked it up again back in the box, but he says it's too long. Martinez claims. The only change that's happened so far, Kieran, is that Sanson has come on for Ramsey, and that's for Aston Villa. Interesting to watch this.
They want to win the game. They want to win the game, don't they? He's playing for another draw here. That's what's going on. Because we die off second half, don't we?
I think it should be time for some changes. It should be time for some changes. Sorry, Pete, what were you going to say, mate?
I was going to say, to be fair, we've been the better team. So there's not really none of the players that we mentioned, the likes of Shelvey or Joe Linton, seem like they're slowing down. So there doesn't seem to be a need to change at the moment. We've had more possession on their side of the pitch. We've had more balls into the box. We've not got on the end of them. That's the thing that we're missing. If anything, someone like an Andy Carroll could really disturb them in the back line with the balls that we're getting in there. And that would be maybe my next sub. But I'll be honest, it's a difficult one for who you take off. Do you take Gale off, who's now playing in the middle, to put a more physical striker up top? But then you're going to suffer with your mobility. What do you do next? It's a difficult one.
I bet Carroll was fuming when he got brought on for like 20 seconds left the other day, wasn't he? You imagine what he was going through? That was me. I would have told Bruce to do one.
I think it was probably the fact that it's alleged, Kieran, he got between
money in his pocket. That's what it is.
25 to 35 grand in his pocket for coming on for 20 seconds. So as much as I think he wants to influence the game. And if you asked Andy Carroll, do you want to start the game or start it on the bench? It's a no-brainer. Of course, he wants to start the game, but
he's on a pay-as-you-play deal, though, isn't he? I think
he is.
Nearly an own goal.
Matt Target, the ball came into the box again. I think it was from Dummett, and Matt Target has headed the ball and it's gone back towards his own goal. But thankfully, Martinez was onto it.
Not thankfully.
Yeah. Well, thankfully for Matt Target. Yeah, thankfully for Matt Target. That's about it. Yep. So we're on the 63rd minute. It's still 0-0. Things are getting a bit edgy now. I'm starting to feel a bit nervous. What was that? Sorry, mate. Oh, there we go. D. McKellen.
We have a Villa fan in the chat. Yeah, welcome.
Welcome, D. Nice to see you. Thank you very much for tuning in.
You'll have to check them all.
Okay, so we're in the 63rd minute. Villa are on the attack. It's quite a slow attack, this, but they're building up from the back. Newcastle, to be fair, Newcastle look organised, which I've not been able to say over the past few weeks. Ball into the box. Easy for Dubravka. Okay, Holly, in terms of Matt Ritchie, what would you do? And obviously, your left back and right back, are you happy with things as they are? Would you change it up? What would you like to see?
Matt Ritchie, I think he hasn't been someone that I would start since he got that injury against Leicester last season because of Hamza Chowdhury. But at the moment, I would be starting him because of the relegation battle that we're in. Because although he might not be the most talented player, he brings fight to the team, and that's something we're lacking. We don't really have anyone on that pitch that is a leader and that can motivate the players. Martin Dubravka is probably the most vocal player on the pitch, in my opinion. But Matt Ritchie would certainly be the best man for just motivating the players to have that confidence to stay up. And then at left back, I would stick with Dummett till the end of the season, personally. I think Paul Dummett's been really, really good. I know that a lot of fans don't really like him very much, but I always think that he does a decent job. In the past, he has went through spells where he hasn't been that good, but certainly at the moment, he's a lot better than Jamal Lewis. Undoubtedly, Jamal Lewis had a good season at Norwich, and there is a player in there. But I just don't think he suits Newcastle in the way we play, especially at the moment when we're on a scrappy relegation battle. We need someone that's just going to be defensively solid and sort the job out and make sure we've got no type of threat and weakness at the back, because we are easy to kind of break down at times. And, you know, Jamal Lewis is good if you want to get further up the pitch and stuff, but that's just not really what we're looking for at the moment. And at right back, I would drop Emil Kraft straight away because I don't rate him at all. I think he's very, very poor. I think he's a waste of a signing. And I would bring Javier Manquillo back in because I think he's the best right back at the club currently.
Yeah, sorry, Holly, I missed some of you there. I dipped in and dipped out, but no, I can see why you'd want Manquillo back in there. Totally agree with that. Sorry, Daz, were you going to say something? Yeah, Barkley on.
Yeah, Barkley would change the game.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you. Yeah, you could well do, actually, Kieran. I was just going to ask you, Chris, did you get me McFlurry as well?
Mate, I haven't had time to go to Mackey's today.
That's really nipped off. Yeah, McFlurry, yeah?
Yeah, no McFlurry today, mate, I wish. No McFlurry today. I might get one later, but I haven't got one now. Oh, Chris, you're on mute, mate.
You're on mute.
Spenny.
I said, I showed Daz that I have date truffles from Oman.
Date truffles?
Ask Al-Walid about that.
Nice.
Come on, Al-Walid, what's this about date truffles?
Be impressed.
I think it's a sweet from the dates. The dates.
Yeah, it's like a ball that's rolled up like chocolate, truffle, and dates. Like the fruit dates, not like a going out.
Like as in a going out date.
Well, there's a great New York Times article
blind date.
I've shared before from Valentine's Day, and it's the the first line is, in Saudi, we don't go out on dates, we eat them.
No, we go.
Obviously, never been to Middlesbrough.
So Trezeguet's come off and Barkley's come on. Villa have now made all 3 subs. Newcastle have yet to make a sub, and we're in the 68th minute, guys.
This has got 1-0 Villa written all over it. It's just they're going to make it.
I think it could be 1-0 either side, Kieran, in my opinion. But now is the time to make the change.
Definitely. Well, you should have made it at half time. I don't buy into this 20-minute leave it to the 20-minute thing. Last 20 minutes. I don't buy into that. Make your subs at half time, and then it can have more of an influence.
I do feel, especially if it's not working. I mean, on this particular game, I could kind of, I agree with Pete. I could kind of see why he's left it at half time, because in fairness, that first half we looked pretty decent, but certainly the last 5 or 10 minutes it feels like we've dropped off a little bit. So now, now is the time to make that change. It certainly feels that way. Just get a few fresh legs on, and let's try and get that 1-0. Give it Willock. Oh, that was a chance. That was a chance.
It really was. Oh, that's awful.
Oh.
Willock has not played well today at all.
Willock's just not good enough.
Really poor. Decision making's not been there at all.
So Newcastle went on the break.
I think there's a player in there though.
Yeah,
there is.
Sure.
Well, I mean, Arsenal fans think he's good, so it must be.
I'm glad Michael Briscoe's just brought that up. It was lovely to see Alan Shearer commenting on the game. So not only have we got Rob Lee at St James's Park tonight, we've also got Alan Shearer there as well.
Is he commentating, is he?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Should bring them on. Use 2 subs.
He still score.
I know they would. Shearer would have got onto one of them headers with them crosses. I think Shearer would have got on one of the ends of them even now. So Emil Katz's throwing the ball. Yeah, what a goal against Peter Schmeichel.
That volley. That goal never gets talked about. It's my favourite goal.
Okay, Newcastle had an opportunity. Kraft threw the ball into the box.
Well done, Hayden.
Oh, fantastic tackle, Hayden. Fantastic tackle. The ball got cleared. Hayden's just broke up the play. Ryan Fraser's running into the box. He's in the box. Constance headed it out for a corner. Newcastle starting to turn the screw now, putting a bit of pressure on. That was a fantastic tackle by Hayden to break up the play and take it off Barkley's feet.
Definitely.
It's 3 points here for the taking. It really is. 100%. I just hope that Bruce makes this change sooner rather than later, because we definitely need some fresh legs on there, in my opinion. Fraser's put the ball in the box. It's gone to the back posts. Yeah, Lascelles has headed it, but it's been headed down and it's gone wide. Newcastle pushed back to the regroup. Yeah, certainly felt that way, Kieran. Daz, what change would you be making now? I know we asked it briefly at half time, but now we're approaching we're in the 70th minutes, 20 minutes to go. Do you feel any different to how you felt at half time? Andy, Trolls, I'm with you.
Yeah. That's why I put it up. Yeah, I think it's time for it's Andy time, just to see what he could do. He'll bring a bit of passion, if nothing else. Who else? Bring Manquillo on as well for Kraft, and bring on Murphy. There'll be my 3.
Caden, what about yourself, mate?
Yeah, get them on. Get Murphy, Carroll on. I'll take Willock off.
Well done, Hayden, again.
Yeah, Hayden, fantastic. Shelby's got to do something with it. Willock's pushing forward. He's looking for the free kick.
Go on, Joe. Go on, Joe.
Come on, Joe. Do something, Joe.
Oh,
Joe, have a shot.
Oh, shoot, man.
Where's this guy going to shoot?
Where is he passing to?
Oh, it's a foul.
Oh, you've got to shoot from there, man. Oh.
Joe's ran in the box again. Great work. He's got himself
in
the
box. He's too unselfish.
Okay, we're seeing the replay. Joe Willock, he was looking for the free kick. He stayed on his feet. He gave the ball through to Joe Linton. Joe Linton's in the penalty area, and he just decides to cut back, and there's 2 Villa defenders there waiting for the ball.
3 defenders.
Oh.
He's not confident, is he? He doesn't like shooting.
No, he's not. Are we? No, that'd be soft, wouldn't it? I think that'd be soft.
Yeah, it's not a penalty.
No.
It's no penalty.
Joe, man, you've got to shoot.
Big chance. I mean, do you know what? Just hit it as hard as you can. It could bounce anywhere, deflect anywhere. Yeah, just have a crack. Hitting the shot at the goalkeeper from 6 yards out. You're giving yourself half a chance, aren't you? And there's another shot on target. But instead, he's cut it back, and there's 3 Aston Villa defenders there waiting. Yeah, exactly, does exactly. Our lead. Is it Big Andy time, or are we just gonna? Do you think Bruce will just keep his powder dry and hold back on the substitutions? What do you think?
It's very weird. We are the one who needs the game, and Aston Villa, they are the one who made the change. We need, definitely we need to refresh the legs because they obviously they are tired, and we can see it's like now more than 70 minutes. It's not working. I can't see we are score with
it's not good enough.
With the same players.
3 points.
We need Murphy and Carroll to be on, of course.
Yeah, no, I agree. I will lead. Chris, we've just got a free kick there. What I wanted to touch upon very briefly with you, Chris. I mean, do you think Ollie Watkins is maybe not fully fit? Because certainly the Ollie Watkins I've been watching for this last 74 minutes, he's been very quiet. Is that credit to the Newcastle defence, or is it the fact that maybe Ollie Watkins isn't fit and he's just been thrown in there? What's your opinion?
Well, I dropped him from my fantasy squad, so maybe that's has something to do with it. I think you gotta give some credit to the Newcastle defense. They certainly don't give up a lot of goals. I mean, we don't score goals, but that's the main problem. But we don't really give up a lot of goals unless it's to like a Manchester United or Man City, Liverpool kind of club.
Fantastic. Carry on, mate.
I do rate Watkins. I think he's a good young player. Maybe he's just not fully fit. But some credit is due to Newcastle defense. I don't think that's Bruce. It's more probably Graham Jones or something.
Yeah, no, we've certainly looked more solid, and to try and eke a positive from this match, we've actually put in a decent performance in my opinion, and certainly defensively, Villa. I've not really, bar maybe a couple of shots in the first half, I've not really felt worried by Villa in any sense, which makes a. Oh, sorry, Kieran, go on, mate.
Don't speak too soon.
No. Certainly, I'm talking about the last 75 minutes, but. Normally by now we'd at least be under the cosh. There's Callum Wilson in the stands, probably itching to get on the pitch. But nice to see him. Nice to see.
Is he going to change it or what? This is a joke. This isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, the game feels really in the balance.
Poor, that's really poor health and hygiene. Putting his feet on the bench.
Carroll should be on right now because Gale's offering is nothing.
You're going to leave it to the 92nd minute again?
Should be on the pitch right now.
What is he doing? He's going to wait till like 80th, 90th minute? Come on.
We've still not seen Graham Jones, by the way.
Smash and grab.
Yeah, he's playing.
Still not seen Graham Jones on that sideline. He's not there.
1 point is not good enough. We need.
It's not. It's not.
We need 3 points. By the sounds of things, we should be winning this game.
We can't get 3 from 3. We needed 6 or 8 or 9, but we're gonna get 3 from 3.
It's not good enough. Yeah, it's not good enough. We get what you deserve if you don't pick up points at home.
Go on, Ryan. Go. Free kick all day. It's got to be a yellow.
Okay. Well done,
Ryan Fraser with the break. Done really well. Yeah, he's run his socks off. There comes the yellow card for Sanson, who's stopped Fraser in his tracks. But 76 minutes in, he's still pushing us forwards. He's still grafting. And yeah, it was a fantastic one from Fraser. Sanson stuck him down and picked up the yellow card. Martin, is it Big Chris. Andy time? You know it's Big Andy time, don't you?
Big Andy time.
Look, I think we need to change it up. Interestingly, I've got my Twitter is still pinging away. Keith Downey and Mark Douglas are absolutely hammering Joe Linton. Hammering him.
Really?
Only star striker who doesn't want to shoot.
Well, you can hammer him for that. You can hammer him for that.
Final third decisions are shocking. And then Downey, Mark Douglas has just come on, which I think is a fairly valid point, which is is anybody here telling me the middle of the park that the likes of Elliot Anderson or Matty Longstaff wouldn't offer more?
Yeah, exactly. They're better than what we've got. They're better than what we've got.
And I think that's a fair point. So, yeah, look, I think for me, it said before, Carroll and Murphy I think should have been on. Joe Linton and Gale off for me, Murphy and Carroll on. I think Ryan Fraser deserves to stay on. I think he's had one of his better games for me. He's worked hard. Again, I know, we were talking the other night about obviously Fraser when he went on striker bomb and everything else.
Go on, Joe.
Oh, come on.
Well done. Well done.
Kick again.
Well done.
Another yellow card. Tyro Mings has picked up a yellow card now. This is definitely, I'm telling you now, this is definitely the opportunity to be making a substitution. You've got to be getting your fresh legs on.
I guarantee you Bruce doesn't change it. Any odds, I'm telling you, he doesn't change this up.
He plays for a draw every game, I swear.
I think he'll make a change soon. I think he was talking to Abner a minute ago. Oh, hey up. Yeah, Murphy's
Jacob
on.
Murphy, here he is. Jacob Murphy.
Okay, so here's the first one.
Fraser.
Yeah, that's the wrong change completely, by the way.
Oh, sweet, man.
Fraser for Murphy, that is an absolutely ridiculous substitution. I'm sorry.
He should be sacked for that in itself.
Fraser's the one guy putting a motor in.
Awful free kick. Awful free kick.
Oh, Watcher's going to get
one of the best outlets on the pitch in Fraser, who's been running to the ground, taken off, and we leave Joe Linton and Gale on. Bruce, that says it all for me. Bruce and Agnew chatting, and we take off probably one of the better outlets we've got. Fucking idiotic. I'm sorry. Wrong decision. Wrong substitution yet again.
If they go and score, he's going to get pelters for this because Fraser's been our best player.
I must admit, I am really, really shocked by that. I mean, I can half see why he's kept Joe Linton on. I mean, I take the point Martin said. He's putting the effort in. He's trying. All right, he should have shot. We all know that. His confidence is low, but he's putting a graft in. I think Dwight Gale's very fortunate to still be on this pitch. Very fortunate.
I would say, and I've given, in fairness, I've given stick to Joe Linton over the season, but I and correct me if I'm wrong, anyone that's watching, but I actually think this is probably the best game Joe Linton, or one of the best games he's had for us since he's come on board. I would say. Palace, he got his goal and stuff, but work rate, I think this is one of the best games he's had.
Just got no end product. That's his problem.
Kraft's just lost the ball. He's been turned inside out. The ball's been laid back into the centre of the field. John McGinn's picked it up on the right. He's looking to get the ball in the box, which he has done. Kraft's left his man. Kraft just left Barkley at the back post. Oh, he made up.
He got lucky there. That was awful positioning from Kraft. It was
awful.
Shocking.
Barkley was just left. Barkley was just left right on the edge of the box. All our players had tucked in, and when Kraft turned around and realised, there's a player there, he's probably thought, that was someone who I should be marking.
You can't defend, you can't go forward. What's the offer, man? Manquillo should have played this game.
Offside, will they not?
Yeah, it looks like it's been given offside, so it's a goal kick to Newcastle. Pete, coming to you, mate. We're approaching the last 10 minutes of the match. Still feeling it. Well, I certainly feel that way anyway. And I know the others have said, it's certainly in the balance. Other than the obvious, would there be any other changes? Would you be looking at formation? Would you be looking at substitutions? Or would you keep it the same? What would you be doing, mate?
Go on, Murphy. 1 second. Murphy's just nicked the ball from Villa.
Murphy looking bright.
Yeah. The one change that I'd be making is getting Gale off. Hold on.
Oh.
Who's that? Go on, shoot.
It's it.
Oh,
he's hit the bar. He's hit the bar. Joe.
Oh, you've got to finish that. That's a fucking chance.
Murphy's had all the time in the world. The ball's coming from the left. Murphy's picked it up. He's done fantastically well. He's held the defender off. He's set himself up. He's held Douglas Luiz off. He's turned on the inside. All he's got to do is just put it in the far corner. He's done that, but he's put too much on it and it's hit the crossbar. Really, he's got it. I'm sorry. He's got to be putting it in the back of the net there. I know he's hit the crossbar, but he's got
it. The chance.
And that is the difference between staying up and going down.
Yeah, it's that.
Finishing those chances is what keeps you in this league.
Exactly.
Fuck off.
Not deserve to stay up if you can't score them goals.
One of the Villa made all 3 subs because one of the Ghazi's just
they have all 3. Yeah,
off.
3 gone. Yeah,
subbed.
Manquillo's coming on. Is that for Kraft?
Is he?
You would think
Manquillo for Joe Linton.
Yeah, Kraft.
Manquillo for Kraft.
Yeah, quite. You wouldn't be surprised.
Glad to see him coming back.
I think that's a solid substitution. Kraft got turned inside out about a minute and a half ago, so Manquillo with the fresh legs. I'm not sure what it'll do from us, certainly from an attacking point of view, but it certainly shows us up a little bit at the back. So to be fair to Bruce, probably the right decision. Villa have got 2 people down now.
Yeah, they're clashing.
Mings is down. Is it Mings and Barkley? It looks like Mings and Barkley. I might be wrong.
They're clashing with each other.
Oh.
Mings and Target, maybe? Is it Matt Target? Yeah, I think it's Matt
Target, is it?
But El Ghazi went down about a minute or so before, and he signalled straight to the bench that he needs to come off. So, and I'm sure Villa made at least 2 subs, haven't they?
They've made 3, mate. Made 3.
They've made 3, yeah. Barkley was the last one.
Yeah. The first one was Traore came off, didn't he? Because he got injured.
Yeah.
He got bored.
And then they brought on Sanson, and they've brought on El Ghazi.
So they can't bring any more.
Oh no, El Ghazi. Oh
no, hang on.
No, Barkley was the last one.
No, Traore got injured.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Traore came off and El Ghazi come on. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
So we're in the 83rd minute. We've got 6 minutes plus injury time. Definitely a chance. I mean, Bruce has made 2 substitutions. Is he going to give Cavill the last 5 minutes? You'd like to think so, but maybe not. Oh. Okay, Newcastle still pushing. It's an Aston Villa throw. 6 minutes to go. Pete, going back to you, mate. What? Obviously, you've seen the 2 substitutions that we've made there. Would you be making that 3rd sub, or would you kind of hang on in there now and hope someone can kind of pick something up for us?
No, I'd still be looking to make that sub. I'd looking to get. I'd looking.
Stick him on for 10 minutes.
I'd be looking to get Carroll on for for the remainder of the game.
Ball in through the back. Watkins.
Great
good save to Bravke. Good save
to Bravke. It did look
Bravke.
offside, to be honest.
Good.
Good. Yeah. But look, this game's there to be won. Villa are all over the place.
It is.
In defensive areas.
Yeah, just take one shot.
Go on, Dwight. Oh. Tyrone Mings.
Go on.
Ready? Go on.
Murphy. Shoot, please.
Come on.
That's an awful cross.
It's awful.
Shit.
It's awful.
Fucking players.
Shit.
In the back.
None of these players have got any end product, have they?
The whole net.
Awful. Very disappointing. 5 minutes to go plus injury time. It did this literally. If it doesn't finish 0-0, it's 1-0 either side. Definitely, either team could win it. It's end to end. Matt Target with the cross in the box.
Oh no, it's in.
No. Oh, he's off. Is he off?
He scored.
I think he's off.
No, he scored. Fuck off.
Watkins looked confused. Watkins looked.
It's a goal.
This is what happens, isn't it? This is what
it's 1-0 Aston Villa. The ball's come in the box, and Newcastle.
Oh my god.
God.
Do you know what? Your season is in absolute shit when you concede a goal like that. You just know it.
Matt Target with the cross into the box. Ollie Watkins gets right down. It's gone in. It's gone in off. Is it Clark? Ollie Watkins with the header, and it's gone in off Clark's knee.
It doesn't even hurt me anymore, to be honest. When they score a goal, I have to accept it.
It's very harsh on Newcastle. It's very harsh.
That is harsh. In fairness to Watkins, I would say that's actually a bit of a poacher's goal as well. That's a good header. I know it takes a deflection off Clark, but that's a good header, lads.
We can't defend, though, can we? This is it. We just can't defend. We can't score goals.
Do you know what, Kieran? I think we've played really well. I think we've defended really a lot better than we have in games.
Yeah.
And that takes a deflection. That to be fair, that's unlucky on Clark, but it's a great attempt from Watkins.
But we're always on the end of a bloody shit. We're always on the end of an awful mistake, aren't we? It can't be the opposition. It has to be us, doesn't it?
We are.
Now the question goes back: will Bruce survive tonight? Now,
of course he will. He ain't going anywhere.
Yeah,
he ain't going anywhere.
If he doesn't
Here comes Andy Cadell. 87 minutes, Andy Cadell's coming on.
87 minutes, not worth a cup of tea.
It's 87 minutes. He's playing for a draw now, isn't he?
It's too late. I feel like it's too late. Holly, that 1-0 position's looking pretty good now.
It is.
You were right all along.
Holly's flipped around like a coin tonight. She's like, oh, I think it's going to be 1-0. It could be a draw.
No, Holly went with 1-0. That was nailed in.
Yeah.
Holly, do you feel? I'm not going to ask you about the left back, right back. I'm just going to ask you: can Newcastle grab something from this game with 2.5 minutes plus injury time to go?
No, I think that's the game done. I'm gutted, man. Like, I'm really gutted. I thought we were going to get a point, which I would have actually been happy with. I know we needed 3, but I would have took a point. But now, we're done.
88 minutes.
Hayden off for Andy Cadell. Feels too little, too late. Hayden looks dejected as he leaves the pitch.
That's an absolute hammer blow this season. I tell you what, that now makes the Brighton game massive.
Yeah. If we don't
absolutely
win
massive.
Oh my God.
We get nothing from Brighton, lads. We're in deep.
Before I go to my last question, and then obviously we'll talk about predictions and stuff like. Sorry, not predictions. We'll talk about man of the match, and we'll talk about the result and how you feel the game's gone. We're going to see the last minute and a half plus injury time out, I think, before we go to any questions or anything like that. But Aston Villa on the break again. David Luiz, a few tricks. Joe Willock's won the ball back. Oh, Javier Manquillo slipped.
No.
He's trying to chip Dubravka. Oh, he flapped them. Dubravka's absolutely raging. Wow. Oh, yeah. 89 minutes gone, lads. And Holly.
Good night, God bless.
Yeah, it's not looking good. I'm not going to lie. I think you know what? I feel like we've been hard done by there. I really do. I mean, I can't blame Dubravka for the goal.
This is the problem, Chris. If you don't take chances,
no,
we've all sat here. This entire panel have sat here tonight going, "Fucking hell! Take the chance, shoot, take the chance." We've made chances. If you don't take them in the final third, this is always what is likely to happen, lads. You get caught.
That'll be his excuse of the game.
This is exactly why Jacob Murphy should not get another contract at this club.
No, he's not good enough. He's a championship player.
I said it to you boys last night, didn't I?
Yeah, we talked about it last night.
Murphy needs to step up tonight and show that he deserves another contract. That miss just epitomises why he should not be playing for this club, right? Because it's not good enough.
He's nothing on the side of the two defenders, Pete. He could have put that down low and he would have scored.
He had all the time in the world to put that ball away, and he manages to hit the bar. It's just a poor finish. Right, that ball goes in, we win this game. It's as simple as that. They go up the other end, they go and score, they win the game. And they've done nothing really to deserve to win the game. They've got lucky, but it's because we've not punished them. And that's the problem.
Aston Villa on the attack. We've lost the ball high up the field. Barkley's running. It's 4v3 at the moment. Barkley's laid it off to El Ghazi. Great save to Dubravka. It's not over yet, though. Barkley's still got the ball in the penalty box. And they're going to smash it out from 15 yards. No, okay. Good save by Dubravka. John McGinn with the effort. And we've got 4 minutes injury time. 3 minutes left for Newcastle to try and grab an equaliser. I'd say a deserved equaliser, but it doesn't feel like we are going to get it. And again, we're going to regret those missed chances. Certainly feels that way anyway.
Just giving up now, isn't it? We're just giving up, giving Villa all the ball.
Joe Linton still working hard.
You can see the goal like that. Right? And it's just going to drain the whole team of confidence. And that's exactly what it's done. Everyone literally was like hands on knees when that goal went in.
There's no confidence in this team anyway.
Fair play, but the lack of quality up front has let us down again in front of goal. Joe Linton for not being decisive enough to take shots when he should be. Right, Murphy not being good enough to put the ball in the back of the net from 8-9 yards.
Not even that, Pete. Not even that.
It's a joke.
It's stupid, isn't it?
Come on, Andy. Oh.
Andy Cadell headed. Oh, fantastic, Andy Cadell. Newcastle still on the attack. It's gone out wide to Jacob Murphy. Joe Linton's put too much on it. Jacob Murphy's right by the corner flag.
Oh,
He's took his man on. He's taken him on. He's in the penalty box. Ball in the... Oh!
He's missed another one.
Villa on the attack. Villa on the attack. Is he offside? Surely he's offside. He's got to be. Paul Dummett.
He's offside there, surely.
Yeah.
Great
Fantastic save for Dubravka. Great save. He's got to be offside there. Yeah, I think he was offside anyway. Dubravka's running to get the ball. 90 seconds left of normal time. Yeah, Paul Dummett's played the line perfect there. Played the line perfect. Definitely offside, so it wouldn't have counted even if it had gone in anyway.
Oh, tell you, that was close.
Just over a minute to go. Dubravka.
The first offside wasn't. It was blatant. He was offside.
Yeah.
Thing is, linesman followed him all the way. Pete never moved a flag.
Yeah,
I don't think they're allowed to, mate. I don't think they're allowed to. They've got to let play progress, and then they'll stick the flag up at the end. I think that goes back to, do you remember the John Joe Shelby goal where the ref...
He went through at Sheffield United.
Yeah, and he had the flag up, and Shelby put it away, and all the players stopped because the linesman had the flag
whistle,
up. Yeah, and then VAR ruled that he was onside. Ball's got into the box.
Remember that when we used to score.
I know. John Joe Shelby, ball into the box. Andy Cadell.
Oh!
Still alive. Jacob Murphy on the left. He's putting the ball in.
Yes!
Yes! Come on! Get in there!
Get in. The cells again.
The cells again.
Fantastic ball in from Jacob Murphy. Picked it up on the left-hand side.
Not my captain.
Not my captain.
He's picked it up on the left-hand side. It looked like all the hope had been lost. Jacob Murphy, I'm going to run through it. John Joe Shelby put the ball in the box. It went over Carroll's head. Jacob Murphy's picked it up on the left. Kept the ball alive. He's put the ball in the box. Yes! Captain, oh captain. Powered and header. 1-1. Wow. Bruce gets off it again.
He is so lucky, this manager. I'll tell you that now. Honestly, these draws are just going to keep him in the job.
Hey, look, Kieran, this is not about Steve Bruce right now. We need to stay in this fucking league.
Fantastic header.
We need to stay in this fucking league. This is not about Steve Bruce. I do not care about him being sacked or whether he doesn't or he does. He needs to
full time. Smash and grab draw.
Fantastic. Newcastle United have drawn. We've asked Villa at St.
James Park. Not even a smash and grab win, a smash and grab draw.
The match is finished 1-1. Jamal Lascelles.
Doesn't it just show how far our club's fallen? Like, just celebrating a last-minute draw against Aston Villa.
Do you know what, mate? We've got to take these points, as Pete said. We've got to take the points. And that game was dead. That game was dead.
Well,
and we've taken it to the death.
To Aston Villa's credit, they've improved so much since Steve Bruce left, as he said.
Martin, there's a comment there for you.
Celebrated golden.
We flash that back up. That's for Martin.
Except I still say the same. Not my captain.
No. Mark, to be fair, mate, I agree with you. But I'll tell you what, credit where credit's due. That was a fantastic
No, not giving him any credit. No.
Mate, that was a fantastic header.
There's a comment in there by Kenneth Stark afterwards. He said, "What did he say about Murphy?" Look, that's the least Murphy should be doing after missing that chance.
Yeah.
That's the absolute least he should be doing, is putting a ball on a plate for a player. And fair play to him, he's made it up, but that could have been 3 points right there. Okay. Yeah. The fact that he's finished, that he's not finished that chance has let us down. It could have been far more comfortable and 3 points on the board. But look, with the position that we're in, we'll take a point.
Yeah.
Still only 2 wins in 19, however, I will say.
Yeah.
2 wins in 19, but you know what? We've managed to scrape a point, and that's going to do the world of good for confidence going into Brighton. I've got to say, I mean, that game looked dead and buried. We've done that in the last 20 seconds. So, you know, I think we should be grateful for the point, and the performance deserved the point, in my opinion. You know, it would have been incredibly harsh on Newcastle to come away with that game with no points. Obviously, the Aston Villa goal was a deflection. And that would have been really harsh on Newcastle. So I'm pleased. I'm going to start now with going around the panel, finding out what you all thought of the game, and who your man of the match would be. So Daz, I'm going to start with you, mate. How did you feel about that match? Are you pleased with the point? I'm assuming you are. And who would be your man of the match, please, mate?
Okay, so I said 1-1 before the game. I saw all of the game because I was looking at these comments, and I'm on the Sky Go, so I'm behind. I only saw the goal there about 5 minutes after ye. But yeah, so I can't give a man of the match really. I know Fraser was looking good. I wouldn't have taken him off either, but maybe he was just out of juice. I don't know who I pick man of the match. To tell you the truth, I'm going to say Lascelles because he scored the goal, but that's just to piss Martin off really. But yeah, but I'm delighted with the draw now. To tell you the truth, because I'm just so pissed off with the loss.
Such a child.
I look forward to seeing the highlights.
Yeah,
such
definitely.
a child, Darren Shocks.
Thank you very much, Daz. Really appreciate that, mate. That's fantastic. Kieran, your thoughts on the game, mate, and if you could give me a man of the match, that would be fab.
Well, I didn't see the game, but Fraser, we'll give him a man of the match because it sounded like he had a decent game. Yeah, I mean the Brighton game now. It's simple. We have to win that game. Brighton game's a must win because this game I personally felt we had more chance of winning. The Brighton game for me, that's massive now. We've got to win that game.
Mate. Yeah, completely agree.
If we don't win that, I mean, I said this is our last shot. If we've got to beat tonight, that's curtains for me. So.
Daz, I just want to thank you very much, Caden. Daz, I just want to mention that comment. Can you put that comment back off Mackenzie? I absolutely love that. Pete, that comment's just for you, mate. I absolutely love that. Kenzie, fantastic comment.
So an assist from Pete.
An assist from Pete. Yeah, Pete, the players must have heard Pete ranting, and they're absolutely right what Pete was saying, and really, really grateful for that point. Awaleed, can you sum up the match in your opinion, please, mate? And who would be your man of the match?
One of the when I get to Twitter with Newcastle, I was always saying Newcastle, being Newcastle fans has been like every day in roller coaster, and back then I didn't know what mean roller coaster, but now this is really how I feel. Best time we play last 2 minutes. I don't know why we didn't start to play like the last 2 minutes. When we need a goal in difficult, almost impossible time, we get a goal. Again and again, and we need to play this strong from the beginning. Why we are just waiting to the last moment and do what we did last minute? Best player, I would say Hayden. But of course I can say Jamal Lascelles, and I think we need to put him as a striker for us next game.
Yeah, no, fair point, mate. Fair point. Chris, your summary of the match, mate, and your man of the match, please.
Yeah, it's like 89 and 90 minutes of wasted chances, and then get the chance when it's, I'm not gonna say almost too late, but we should have won that match outright. And Lascelles' goal has been like the cherry on top, but for that to be the only goal of the match for Newcastle is pathetic. They should have had 3 or 4, at least 2. But it's a point. They deserve something from the match. I don't always understand the expression "no more than they deserved." I don't know what that really means in British speak, but maybe it was no more than they deserved to get the draw on the points. And yeah, I'm all about what Pete said earlier. It's not about keeping Bruce in the job or out of getting him sacked. It's about getting the points to stay up. And if that's a point in the right direction, when they might have needed 3, then we got the point, but it should have been 3.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I agree. I mean, we've managed to scrape a point there in the dying embers. So really, I suppose we should be quite happy. It's another point on the board, but it does feel like there was potential there. Again, a bit like the West Brom game, there was the potential there for the 3 points. But me personally, I'm reasonably happy, with that point, especially given the time that we scored it. Martin, your thoughts, mate, and your man of the match as well, please.
Yeah, I think enough with the players on the pitch to have won that game tonight. Shocking decisions in the final third for me, from Joe Linton to Murphy. I think the back 4, dumb it for me, man of the match. I think some of his blocks, some of his play down the line was really well. I thought Joe Linton played okay. Probably had one of his better games. I still think Bruce got a lot wrong. I think wrong players on there tonight. The likes of Gale brought us nothing. I think Kraft, we should have had Manquillo on probably from the start if he was fit. I think the intensity dropped off yet again. The Fraser substitution for me, absolutely baffling. So I think, there are still issues there. And I think at 1-0 down, okay, we come back to 1-1. But I tell you what, if there had been a crowd there tonight, we can't underestimate how big a difference having no crowd in St James's Park makes.
If Pete was there, we'd have won 3-0.
If Pete was there on his own, we would have been 5-0 up by half time. But yeah, I don't think it could be. You can't overstate how much the crowds are being missed. But I think we do still really need to step it up. I think there's an absolute lack of urgency, and in the predicament we're in, I think the Brighton game is now absolutely huge. And if we don't get 3 from that, the next 4 or 5 games after that, okay, we might fluke a point somewhere or a crazy win that's unexpected, but we're it's going to go to the wire, lads, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it will do.
We keep picking up. Oh well. Yeah, we keep picking up these points, and obviously we're all waiting for the big front three to come back. Pete, your thoughts on the match, mate, and obviously your man of the match as well, please.
You know what? I thought we played well tonight. First and foremost, what you saw tonight is a formation that makes us play better attacking football. The difference is we just haven't got the top end players
to finish off,
to really finish off that front three. If we had 2 out of the 3 that are missing tonight, if we had and Wilson, say Maximum and Wilson or whatever, you can mix the 3 however you want. If we had 2 out of that 3 available tonight, we win that game. It's as simple as that.
The approach play to the last 9 yards is massive.
Yeah, so for me, that for me is an example of what we are capable of producing when we get our better players at the top end back. And that's why I sort of remain confident that in the games coming up that we can get points. Okay, we were lucky to concede that goal, but it was due to, it spurred Villa on the fact that we just couldn't put our chances away. We weren't clinical in the top end, and it gave them a chance. We get the first goal, we win that game. It's as simple as that. Because Villa wouldn't have known what to do. I think the man that's having his interview at the moment is man of the match, Jamal Lascelles. I think he's played really well recently. I think he's been commanding. Martin obviously openly and to a certain extent rightly has criticised him, but he's hit back with some captain's performances, and as a captain he steps up and when it matters he scored 2 vital goals, one against Wolves and one tonight. And for me, he was man of the match. Fraser probably would have been up there if he'd have stayed on the pitch longer. Joe Linton was okay, but fizzled out as the game went on. I thought Dummett played well too. Dubravka made a couple of saves. There's, it was a good performance. It was a really good performance, and it was a shame. It was so frustrating that they got that goal, that first goal. We're still in it. We are still in it. Okay, a point's good. We are now Everton, Man City, and Southampton fans for the rest of this weekend, and that's just our story at the moment.
Yeah. Watch one of those results go against us. Don't be surprised if Fulham get a result tomorrow.
Fulham aren't beating Man City
against City.
It may well be, but
no way.
But
you're very. I think they can. They're a good side. They are really good.
If Man City don't put 3 past Fulham, I'm sorry. I cannot see Fulham beating Man City. I mean, Man City are flying.
Fulham don't concede many goals.
Seriously, at the moment, we're 2 points ahead, both of them. Okay, so we can see that as a positive. We've got the point on the board. They've got it all to do now. They've seen what we've done tonight. They've seen that we're not down in the dumps. They've seen tonight that we're not broken as a team, like we've been documented all week. We showed commitment. We stayed together as a team. We worked hard. We looked good at times. We didn't finish off, but you know, you look at the other two teams. You look at Brighton and you look at Fulham, and you take their best 3 forward players out of the team and see how they perform then. We're still getting points on the board without those 3 players. Okay, we've still got points on the board. It's now up to them to kind of get the results. And yes, we hope that they all lose, but it is what it is. Okay, keep going. You know, it's Rob Lee mentioned that at the end of the game, and I disagree with him because he was like, kind of, oh, we didn't play well. You know, we didn't deserve to win the game. We didn't do enough. Blah blah blah. I disagree with Rob Lee. I thought we played well tonight. I thought we were the better team for long parts of that game, and you know, we're walking off that pitch delighted that we managed to get something from the game, but pissed off the fact that we didn't get 3 points from that game. You know, if I was Bruce, I'd be giving another rocket up Murphy's arse. Why are you not fucking finishing that chance? I'd be giving a rocket up Joe Linton's arse. Why are you not shooting? Why are you not a selfish bastard on the pitch and putting the ball in the net? You need to be ruthless. We're not blessed with loads of opportunities, but we're still in it. And whilst we're still in it, I remain confident that we're going to stay in the league. So therefore, I'm happy.
Look at this comment.
Would you start Carroll against Brighton, Pete?
100%. 100%.
Yeah, me too.
Two players that have won themselves into the team. Right, for next week, right, is Andy Carroll. Because Andy Carroll in 3 or 4 minutes did more than Dwight Gale did in the whole time he was on the pitch.
Oh, I'd have Carroll in front of Lascelles.
Get out of it!
I'm messing.
Those two getting on
Twitter blows up.
Those two getting on the end of Ryan Fraser crosses could be a threat next week. Yeah, and that for me is the key.
And I think you need Carroll to take on Brighton's back two in particular.
You look at the restart game, 0-0. Right, the restart game was 0-0. Right, it was a nothing game up until Carroll came on the pitch. We went long, and Carroll caused them no end of problems.
Yeah. As he always does, Pete. As he always does.
Yeah, and for me, playing. For the other player, for me, Manquillo came on for 10 minutes and did more than Kraft did in the whole game. Right, he's the main man. He's the right back. He's played tonight. That for me says he needs to start next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next Saturday, he's in the team. He's the number 1 right back. He's the one that needs to play next week. So there are 2 players that have won themselves into the team.
Would you go Fraser, Murphy, and Carroll?
4-4-2, I think.
Fraser left, Murphy right, Carroll in the middle.
I'm still pissed off with Murphy right now. So
I know you are, but I'm asking you about the next game.
He's still in my bad books. I'm still pissed off with him.
What about Richie?
Cross for Lascelles, but you've got to start finishing your dinner. Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you're 25 years old. You played for the club that you love for 3 or 4 years now. Just finish your dinner. When you get a chance 8 yards out, just put it in the net.
Put your boot through.
Put it in the top corners. Just hit it as hard as you can, like Shearer did, like Bellamy did, like Kluivert did. All those players back in the day. Just put the ball in the net.
I don't know
how it goes in the net. Just put it in the net.
Apparently,
on
Twitter,
and that's me. That's me.
Apparently, earlier on, someone said on Twitter that Callum Wilson potentially could be back. I'm not sure I believe it, but that's what I read earlier.
I wouldn't risk him.
No, I wouldn't.
It was interesting, actually. Sorry to just my last point. It was really interesting because last night, whilst we were on Loaded, there was a tweet that came out from Carroll's rehab saying that his 4-week rehab is done.
Yeah.
And that was really interesting that his 4-week rehab was done. Will we see him in the training pitch this week? Who knows?
Well, he's back on the grass, apparently.
He was on grass on Wednesday, apparently.
Yeah. So, you know, will he come off the bench? I have no idea. But if it's a risk,
I don't think we risk him.
Yeah. It's a risk.
Do you think it was significant that he was? They zoomed in on him, didn't they, during the match? Do you think that was significant in terms of like maybe he's there because he's thinking, you know, you're going to be involved next week?
I think it's great to see him there from a point of just supporting the lads.
Yeah.
If I was the manager, I'd be having the whole squad there, even the ones that weren't chosen, For me, it's a togetherness.
Yeah.
You know, we're all together as fans. As of tonight, the panel, we're all together as a fan base. They should be together as a squad. You know, you look at the top teams, when you're not picked for a squad, you're still there on the sidelines cheering the players on. That should be a given. You know, in this
where's
right now,
France?
He should be there.
Apparently.
He should be there watching the game.
Honestly,
you know, that for me is poor management, and that comes down to Steve Bruce. But that's another conversation. We'll talk about that next week.
I mean, if that is true, he's broken the COVID rules once again, because he already done it a few months ago, hasn't he? So he's going to have to isolate. If the reports are true, he's going to have to isolate in 2 weeks now. That means we're going to be without him, our best player. But I don't know how true they are, so we'll just have to wait and see, won't we?
Yeah. Let's hope it's not true, mate.
Let's hope it's not true. Absolutely.
Holly, last but certainly not least, your thoughts on the match and also your man of the match, please.
Man of the match, I'd give to Paul Dummett. I praised him throughout the whole game. I just think he did a really good, solid job, and I'd definitely be sticking with him for the rest of the season. And the match, well, we went 1-0 down, and I literally just felt so fed up because I was like, oh, that's it now. Because I already thought we were going down. I've been really, really negative, but I was like, this is just making everything just worse. But then we got that equaliser, and I felt like we won. That's how happy I was about it.
Yeah.
Before the game, I would have been happy with a point, and I'm happy with a point now. And I actually feel more positive than I have for a good few weeks, because I honestly think now, I know we don't want to just keep picking up points, but if we keep picking up points every week and getting lucky results, then I think we'll have enough to just stay up. And I hope and pray if we stay up by 1 point or goal difference, I'm happy. I just don't want to get relegated. So this is the most positive I've felt in a long time about that. We might have a chance of staying up.
It certainly feels positive, doesn't it, Holly? And we may look back on that come the end of the season, and hopefully we stay up and look back and think, wow, that was an important point. And so often, you see these results. The likes of Fulham, Brighton, Burnley fans will have all been watching that tonight and thinking, great, Newcastle have lost. Last minute equaliser, and it just, don't get me wrong, at the start of the game we all said, didn't we, a point's really not good enough, but at the end of the day, it's another point on the board. It's accumulating more points, as Bruce likes to say, whilst our front three are out. So, let's take the positives from it. As Pete said, it was a good performance. So, plenty of things to shout about, certainly for the Brighton game next week, which, again, I know we keep saying it every single week, but it's now a huge, massive game, isn't it? The Brighton game. And now we've got to travel away to Brighton as well. So, Brighton are going to be bang up for that. Pete says we're going to keep an eye on the results over the weekend. I'm certainly going to be doing that. I'm sure all of us will.
Not watching any. No. Walk when all those games are on. And staying out of the way.
The draw is great, but I'm sure people will have their views on it. But 2 in 19 is not good enough.
No,
I bet the manager's buzzing with a point tonight.
No,
we will.
I'm sure he will. Lascelles is on BT there going, considering we were losing the point's a great result.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Mentality is shocking.
2 in 19 from that squad of players prior to injuries of the 3 going out, and we can talk about the injuries, tactics, performances, goal scoring, and wins in 19. 2 of 19. I'm sorry. It's still not good enough.
No, I think
it's not good enough.
Martin, is it that obviously at 93 minutes into the game?
Absolutely, I'm with you. I'm not debating tonight. The point is better than losing. Absolutely, but one game doesn't gloss over a fact. Getting a 94th minute equaliser, okay, it gets us a point tonight, but there's X amount of other games over a season, and 1 goal. Okay, Lascelles, I've had me stick about him. I still don't rate him. Still don't think he's a leader, but he took the goal. He's taken 2 goals against Wolves and Villa. Maybe he likes scoring against teams from the Midlands. I don't know, but he's taken those. But the tactics were still baffling. Playing Gale out on the left, the time and the substitutions, taking Fraser off, and all the other things we've had, and the sheer fact, Bruce, I'm sure will come on and talk about. Let's keep the run going.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, lads. 2 in 19 is not good enough. It's not fucking good enough.
No, it's not. Mark. I mean, we've just got to think. We've really grasped a point there when really it looked very unlikely that we were going to do so. But I completely take your point. 2 wins in 19 is not good enough.
McLaren had more wins and got booted.
Yeah.
At this stage, that's all I'm saying.
We all Bruce out
the ground, wasn't it?
No, I know.
We know it's not.
I just don't want it to. Listen, I'll take a point every day of the week, and Pete, we've chatted numerous occasions, mate, on all the shows. I'll happily take a point. We go on to Brighton. We go again. We move on. But
yeah,
I don't want to sit here and gloss on the fact because 2 in 19. I'm sorry, for my football team, any manager is not good enough. End of.
No one's saying that this is good. And
I'm just getting it out there.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, mate. I completely agree.
Any normal club, you would have been gone.
Yeah. But as we all know, we are not a normal club, are we?
No, we're not.
No.
Daz, I'm just gonna tell you, my thoughts on the match very briefly and who my man of the match is. Yeah. So, I'm a bit disappointed. I'm sure tomorrow when I wake up, I'll think, great, a point, and it nice one, Ian. Thank you for that. I'm sure I'll be disappointed in the morning, obviously, with the result, but right now, I must admit, I am buzzing with that because it feels like we're coming away. We've put in a good performance. We're missing our 3 best players, and we've got another point on the board. And for me, I'm taking that as a positive, and I'm going to try and be as positive as I can going into Brighton. Might feel about it differently tomorrow. In terms of my man of the match, I'm going to agree with Holly. I thought Dummett was outstanding. I really did. I mean, Dubravka was up there. He made some really important saves. Fraser ran all day. Really, really, real shame, that he went off the pitch. But yeah, Dummett for me. I thought he was fantastic, and he's really, really brought that solidity back to our defence. So yeah, my man of the match is Dummett. Daz, did you want to jump in, mate? Sorry, I've seen you looking like you.
Oh yeah, no, I was going to say that. I was going to ask Martin a question really, because Martin, you had this game down as a defeat for Newcastle.
I did, yeah.
We got a point out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Has it changed your opinion now on us staying up or not?
No.
Okay.
So you still think with Dom?
Yeah, at this moment, I don't think we've got enough. A lot for me. And listen, lads, you've known me now for over the season, right? And I call it. If I think we played well, I'll say it. If I think we played shit, I'll say it. If I have something to say, I'll say it. People either like it, people don't like it. We can crib on about the 3 that have gone out. Okay, they are our attacking outlet. The issue we have is we're now in another season with an underperforming manager who's been left in the position by our owner and the club in freefall. And until those situation changes, we've played this Russian roulette of a gamble with a club with hundreds of thousands of passionate supporters like us who are on this panel all across the Northeast, all across the UK, all across Ireland, America, everywhere else. And we're gambling every single time we go out on that pitch. And I'm sorry, the manager's performance for me is just not good enough. And for Charlie to be AWOL, for the manager to be talking about selling Donny socks in Kuwait and everywhere else, and not focusing on the fact that he could blow the biggest opportunity that we've ever had as a club, for me, it's just not good enough. It's not acceptable. And I think I do worry. And I think if the front 3 don't come back, we get nothing at Brighton. We've got the likes of City, Liverpool, Arsenal. Okay, Chris, I take your point. We sat on our show last night. We said, where did we think we'd get points from? I said I didn't think we'd get any points in amongst those. And I still don't. I think City tears a new one. I think Arsenal probably beat us. I think Liverpool probably beat us. I think Spurs probably beat us. But we may pull something off. But it's like, I just hate the fact that I'm fucking celebrating a draw.
Yeah. No, I see your point, mate.
I hate it.
Is Lee Charnley a Geordie by any chance?
No.
So
yeah, I'm sorry that I'm not optimistic and that.
Sorry, Kieran, we just went no.
No, it's all right.
Sorry, Kieran.
Sorry.
No,
it's all right.
Yeah. So look, I'm sure there'll be people watching, and some people will be happy. Listen, take the point all day long, but I Bruce spoke the other day about it's about an accumulation of points. Well, do you know what, you dumbass? We haven't accumulated enough to keep us up the table and in the position. we've got the squad of players. The unfortunate thing is you've not got them playing, and you're playing them out of position. And if anybody listened to the show that we did last night with Alex OHM or Ohm or Orchestra Maneuvers in the Dark, or whatever it was they were called, Ohm. We spoke to 2 Villa fans, and I said to you guys when we came off air last night, it was the best chat I've had with opposing fans for a long time, and they were straight up. And everything that we are now currently hearing from Bruce, the excuses, the buck stops with me, but actually it was Richie's fault. It was COVID. It was everything else. That's everything they heard at Villa, and he took them down. So I'm not optimistic. I think we get players back. If we don't start picking up 3 points and we don't pick up 2 or 3 wins in these remaining games, and Fulham pick up a couple more outside of their run, we're in deep shit. We will go down.
That COVID excuse he used yesterday, but you can't say anything because Aston Villa had the same issue a few months ago, and they've come back strongly from it. Yeah. So I don't get it. Excuses,
anyway, sorry for my pessimistic view, and I don't want to bring the show down on a tone, but
no, we're going to put you beside Kieran anymore.
Yeah,
the 2 of you are going to sit beside
I
each
mean,
other.
the reality is, Pete. Listen, I've watched Pete on numerous shows, right, and he's an absolutely incredible one to watch. The emotions that run through him when we score or we don't do well, he tells it as it is, straight off the cuff, straight from the heart, and I admire that 100%. But even he has changed this season. It's become worse and worse to watch. And again, I've said we're genuine fans, and we're all sitting after 94 minutes going, thank the fuck we got a draw. I don't want that. I want more than that. So I'm sorry, it's not good enough.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You've only actually seen 50% of what I'm like, because if you saw me in the stadium, I'm a lot worse.
I've got to be honest. Pete, I can't wait to go to the match for you, mate. I can't wait.
Honestly,
absolutely, we're all going.
Just be prepared for injuries.
Exactly.
Legs, arms, always get injured in some way, shape, or form.
At least we'll easily get tickets against Barnsley.
Oh, yeah. At the moment, I don't care what game I go to next.
We will get there.
I just go absolutely mad. But look, Martin's made some fantastic points. He's absolutely spot on with what he said. It's not enough. But I'm just going off the predicament that we're in.
Yeah,
and that we just need points on the board.
I totally hear.
Not off the board, on the board, and that's just how I'm looking at it right now. I'm going from game to game. Can we get points on the board? Can we get that closer to that 36, 37 points that is likely to keep us in the league? And we're just creeping there slowly but surely. There's no guarantees that Fulham, although they've been playing well, are going to continue in that vein, because teams go in and out of form. Who's to say that Fulham don't drop their form and start losing games? Who's to say that we don't have an injury savage next couple of games where their top players get injured, like ours have? You don't know. So, as long as we're getting on the points on the board, we're now 2 points ahead of them and Brighton. That puts pressure on Brighton tomorrow. They've got to go to Southampton and get 3 points.
I think they've been Southampton.
They've not been in this position.
Exactly. And I tell you, I love it. I love it if they go there.
Mate, I was just about to say, I was going to interrupt Pete.
Love it. I would love it.
They've got to go to Southampton and they've got to go and get a result. Oh, I love it, mate.
They've got to go to Southampton and get something.
And I tell you.
Listen,
brilliant.
It's been an absolute pleasure tonight. Honestly, I've absolutely loved it.
Well done, Chris. By the way,
you've been amazing, mate. Well done.
Nice one. Thank you so much. You've been a great panel.
Well done, Chris.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm off now anyway because I need my McFlurry. So, Daz, I'm going to say it one last time, mate. Again, thank you very much to everyone coming on. Thank you to everyone tuning in. Please keep tuning in. We've got our own show, myself, Daz, and Martin and Richie. So subscribe to Loads at HQ. The Twitter is at Loads at HQ1. The Instagram is Loads at HQ. So by all means, please drop us a follow. We'd really appreciate that. We're on every week on our own channel now. We were with Steve, but now we're on our own channel. But listen, again, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody. I've really enjoyed the show. We've ended up with a point. Let's be honest, we're really happy with it, considering 20 seconds before the full-time whistle, we weren't getting one. Daz, I think it's time to run that intro. Well, if I say intro, it's the exit, isn't it?
starting again.
Yeah, and it's not even the proper one because I can't find the proper one. So we have to go with our one again, I'm afraid.
It's absolutely fine. We love the song. Listen, thanks again, everyone. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
You're the joker, the expert, the voice, but you wanna bet well.